You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
That I have, okay, that I would ask us to try to abide by. One is to respect the team, okay? Respect the football team and the people that are here, okay? The second one is, okay, I'd like you to have, when we're in a meeting, okay, I know what the style may be, just pull your hood down in a meeting. That's all I ask, okay? I just ask that when we're in a meeting, okay, that we just pull our hoods down and we go from there. Be on time, okay? We just talked about time. Be on time. And if I can't be on time, Christian, what's the easiest thing to do? You would just call.
Now everybody go outside and take a lap. Gotta love it. No, this is not the Los Angeles Lakers radio TV network, ESPN. No, I'm not leading with the Lakers and the emotion of Luka Doncic. No, Mike Vrabel. That's my emotion, baby. Ready to run through a brick wall for that man. Outstanding stuff. We'll show you the video that's gone viral. His opening speech to the Patriots yesterday. Let's get it going. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, April 10th, 2025. Man, thanks for checking us out. My show, I am Pete Sheppard here on the Coastal Sports Network. Thanks for checking us out across the video platform. Following me on Twitter, X at PShep326, on our Facebook pages, on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, CSN Florida, LinkedIn, call or text the show, 727-858-6650. And as always, check out the app right above, SR1029, The Game. Can't stress enough. If you cannot watch the show, please, if you're in your car or doing it on your cell phone, or if you're a place where you can't watch the show, go through the app. It'll be much better. Won't cut in and out like the video does in your car sometimes, because that's why we have the app. SR1029. The Game, SR1029thegame.com. Check it out. The links are all over my social media. Well, good morning, everybody. Lots to get into today. As you just heard Mike Vrabel addressing the Patriots, setting down the team rules. We'll show you the whole complete video as well. I've also got some great video of Bill Belichick yesterday or the day before, at a North Carolina practice, mic'd up. It is awesome, awesome stuff. Red Sox lose again, 2-1. They've lost three now in a row to the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays try for the 4-game sweep this afternoon at 4:05 at Fenway. Just can't get the bats going. Wasted another good pitching outing by Houck yesterday. Just can't get the bats going. Meanwhile, other NFL news. We'll do an MLB rundown. We'll get to the Lakers and Doncic. Yes, it was a little emotional. He dropped 45 on a shitty Dallas Mavericks team, but the emotion of it all, Lakers could still finish either third or eighth, depending what happens the next two games. They're still getting bounced in the first round. As I told you yesterday, the Celtics were probably going to rest everybody, or mostly everybody. They did. They sat the top 7 scorers. They'll probably get a little bit of a fine for that. But it doesn't matter. Orlando, they clinched the 7th spot, I think, in the East with the win. There was no way any of those guys were going to play. And there's 2 more meaningless games coming up too against Charlotte, Friday and Sunday. So I expect more of the same. Celtics will probably play most of those guys on Friday and rest them all again on Sunday. Go for the 60th win. Meanwhile, so we'll have an NBA rundown, some exciting stuff in the NHL as well. Some crazy, crazy finishes. We've had some crazy finishes this week. The Masters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Masters will tee off in 36 minutes as we say good morning to Angel Martinez. Good morning, Angel. How are you? Getting ready, by the way, to tee off, and we'll keep you updated. Davis Riley and Patton Kizzire, both Americans. They will tee off at 7:40. They're Group 1. At 7:51 in Group 2, we have Kevin Yu from China, Chinese Taipei. Johan Vegas from Venezuela, and from Denmark, Nikolai Højgaard. Following that at 8:02, Mike Weir from Canada, Michael Kim from the United States, and Cameron Young from the U.S. as well. Then finally, I won't go through the whole. Going through Group 4 at 8:13, Angel. Zach Johnson, Joe Highsmith, Chris, don't call me Captain Kirk. All from the United States. All teeing off at 8:13 from Augusta National. That's in Georgia. Breakfast with the Masters with Pete Sheppard. Enjoy, everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if I should take a nap now or have some coffee or. Good morning.
Well, I mean, you can't talk about the Masters without the music in the background. You start hearing it in December. It is truly one of the, it's like hearing the opening of Star Wars or Star Trek or some other, you hear this music and you know it's Augusta. Now they start doing this. We started talking about this with Bill Spiros yesterday. They usually start around Christmas promoting the Masters because it's obviously the most, it's the greatest tournament. It's the greatest golf tournament every year. I think it is, followed by the U.S. Open and then the British Open or the Open. PGA Championship's always been like down on the list. It's always been there. Anyway, Masters starts today. And the Frozen Four is tonight as well, you hockey people. Like myself, looking forward to it on ESPN at about 5:10 this afternoon. Denver, the Pioneers versus the Broncos. Denver and Western Michigan going at it in game 1, 5 o'clock or 5:10 on ESPN. And the biggie, Penn State and Boston University will go at it in game number 2 at about 8:30. Unless the other one goes like 2 or 3 overtimes, which who the hell knows? It's possible. It'll be played in marvelous St. Louis, Missouri. Anyway, Angel Martinez, beautiful day. We could not have been more of a perfect 10 yesterday. Still have now it's going on 2 days where the windows and doors are open. Lanai, the crosswinds coming in. Humidity is low, and the high temperatures in the low to mid 80s. It is just a fabulous couple of days here, as it usually is in Southwest Florida. But how are you doing this morning?
We're going to have a lot of pissed off people this morning. We're like, you two clowns keep talking about how great the weather is down there. But
I think it's important. It's accurate. I mean, I'm trying to, people who are coming down here, just they want to know. People want to know.
No, it's true.
It's been a freezing night in the Northeast and the Midwest. I know that people go into these games and they're all bundled up with 8,000 layers. By the way, Jay Flanley at the top of the hour, when I post every show on Facebook, I post pictures of my guests. The one you see on Facebook of Jay, maybe, I don't know if Andrew, can you punch that up real quick from my Facebook page? It's him. Remember he said he was going to the Michigan game on Monday, on Tuesday, the baseball game at 4 o'clock. I actually forgot to tune it in. I didn't know how many people were there. I think it was single digits, and he was one of them. Single digits people wise, it was pretty close. But he is sitting there bundled up.
Hang on, it's coming.
Outside of the stadium. I told him to send me pictures in the stands. He didn't send me any pictures in the stands. Or if he sent one that was sideways, I couldn't tell. Yeah, there's Jay. Jay out Tuesday after doing the show out there at a 4 o'clock game in Ann Arbor. So he doesn't look warm. That's for sure.
He doesn't. It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. So I think he'll even take that, even though he talked about
the sun was out, right? The sun was out, so that's something.
Exactly. And it wasn't completely cloudy, so that's another plus. Unlike down here, where yesterday, you were absolutely right. Today is going to be identical as yesterday. A perfect 10 weather-wise. 83 degrees for the high yesterday. It was nice. Towards the evening hours, we ended up getting a breeze. But for the most part, man, you couldn't ask for a better day. You really couldn't.
It was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic. Actually, Peanut Gallery and I took Luna to lunch at one of our favorite places, McGregor's in Fort Myers, and fantastic. Wonderful place. So we're outside most of the day. Anyway, the phone number 727-858-6650. Let's get right to it because I know, Angel, you even texted me. Actually, let me tweet this out too. Speaking of, one more thing here with the Masters. Hang on. I got to do this properly. I have to do it properly. Okay. So in case you are going to Augusta, and people think it's very expensive with the food and everything else. It is not. It's one of the few big-time events where it's fairly cheap. The Masters food menu known as the most affordable at all sporting events, but is it good? Is the question. And this guy says, when I attended, I sacrificed and gorged myself in order to get to the insightful info. There's every food item in the Masters. Now they all come in sandwiches basically. You get eggs. These are all $1.50. These first are $1.50. Egg salad and pimento cheese sandwiches. Pimento cheese is huge. Now you can actually order packages of They have Amazon. They have a thing like Masters food. You can have it delivered to your house, right, including like souvenir cups and all that nonsense. It's absolutely ridiculously priced. You're paying for the merchandising on the plastic cup that they give you. A pork barbecue sandwich is $3. Nothing is more than $3. Nothing. So all these sandwiches are between either $1.50 or $3. Like I said, the egg salad and pimento cheese, they're both $1.50. The pork barbecue, the Masters Club, chicken salad on honey wheat, ham and cheese on rye, and classic chicken. Those are all $3. And they're decent sandwiches. I've seen them. I've never been to Augusta, but I have no friends and former colleagues that have been. For breakfast, the coffee, the Masters blends, only $2. All of these are $2. Actually, fresh brewed is $2 for breakfast. Then you get a chicken biscuit if you like that for breakfast, $2. A breakfast sandwich for $3. Blueberry muffin, $1.50. Not bad.
Not bad.
And fresh mixed fruit, if tickles your fancy, $2. Beverages, soft drinks are just $2. Bottled water, $2.
That's good.
Yes, fresh brewed iced tea, $2. Beers,
$4.
domestic beer and imported beer, both only $5, and wine is $6. And for snacks, chips plain or barbecue for $1.50. Peanuts for $1.50. Stuffed. What is that? Oh, Southern cheese straws for $1.50. Cookies for $1.50. And the pecan caramel corn for $1.50. And lastly, for $1.50, the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich, which I hear is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal, the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. So there's your food list. If you head to the Masters, it's quite cheap. It really is. It is one of the most affordable. I mean, and those prices have not changed in years. So anyway, we'll keep you up to date. 7:40. I have Scotty Scheffler on my Hard Rock app. $5 to win, $29. That's the only bet I put in for the Masters. So crazy.
So if it's been like that for years, does that mean that the Atlanta Falcons learned from the Masters as far as pricing?
Well, for some of it, yeah. They've done a great job over there. Arthur's done a great job over there. And now, there's a lot of, on Sundays, there's a lot of very reduced price foods at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And how about we played the video last week, the Chandeliers of Coastal Carolina. Free food and drinks. You can go up as many times as you want. You just limit it to 4 items at a time. Free food the entire game. That is absolutely crazy.
Yep, I'm dying to see that one. By the way, Jerry from Rhode Island texts in this morning, says, good morning, guys. What a way to start the day. Breakfast with Pete and the Masters. Jerry absolutely loves when we talk about the weather. Not really. And good morning.
Fisherman, he's out on the boat. He's freezing his ass off, working his tail off.
He sure is.
All right, we got a great show lined up for you today. Jay Flannelly, if he's thawed out, will join me at 8:05 a.m. in Ann Arbor. Find out. We get some NFL news to talk about. Scheduling is supposed to come out. I got a few dates for you in May. It always comes out in May, but I have a few dates for you. We'll get into that with Jay and a lot more. By the way, Shadur Sanders is visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers today, which I find interesting. Aaron Rodgers still unemployed. Dare I say, with the Steelers, is this a sign that they want to move up and make a deal and draft Shadur Sanders? Don't know, but interesting. nevertheless, that he's going to be in Pittsburgh to meet with the Steelers today. Trevor Harris at 8:30. The young youth from WQAM in Miami. He's giving him an extra half hour sleep today. So we'll find out what's going on in the East Coast of Florida. And then John Meter Perrell, voice of the BC Eagle football team and the ACC Network, will join me, and we'll get his take on everything that's going on around in the world of sports. What he thought about the national championship. There's some college football news to tell you about as well. And of course, The Clubhouse, a year with the Red Sox on Netflix, has been spectacular. I watched episode 3 yesterday. I watched episode 3 yesterday. It just continues to get better and better. Your good friends, Sean McAdam was on yesterday. More great stuff from him. Also from Alex Spear of the Boston Globe and Ian Brown of MLB Network, MLB.com. Ian's supposed to join. We're going to probably try to get Ian on tomorrow because we've been playing phone tag with our schedules and different things like that. All right. A couple of days ago, this has gone viral now. New Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel, and this caught the eye of one Angel Martinez as well, because you text me. I didn't even text you the story, but we scrolled out. It's under Dove Climb, and it's got it. Mike Vrabel's first speech to the Patriots has gone viral, leaving many fans impressed with his no bullshit attitude, which I absolutely love, and it's exactly the type of kick in the ass that this team needs. So here is Coach Mike Vrabel.
That I have, okay, that I would ask us to try to abide by. One is to respect the team, okay? Respect the football team and the people that are here, okay? The second one is, okay, I'd like you to have, when we're in a meeting, okay, I know what the style may be. Just pull your hood down in a meeting. That's all I ask, okay? I just ask that when we're in a meeting, okay, that we just pull our hoods down and we go from there. Be on time, okay? We just talked about time. Be on time. And if I can't be on time, Christian, what's the easiest thing to do? You would just call, right? That's called communicate, okay? All you got to do is say, hey, something came up, okay? I'm going to be a little bit late. Now, after about 4 or 5 times, that starts wearing off, okay? This is just a once in a while. All it is a respect thing, okay? And the cell phones, okay? We all got cell phones, okay? Most of you have more than one, as a matter of fact. Just leave the cell phone in your bag, but just put the phone away. Okay, and if it rings, don't start coughing. Like, I've been in this league for 25 years. We all know when a cell phone goes off. We don't need to start coughing and doing that shit. We'll just turn it on and put it on silent, and we'll move on. Leave it in your bag. The cell phone's in the weight room. Okay, leave it on the counter or leave it in your locker. Okay, you don't need to do a set and then check your cell phone. Do a set and check your cell phone. Just leave the cell phones out of the locker room. Okay, and what my goal was, that I told everybody in the building, and I told Mr. Kraft, I told the coaches, it was to build a program that you guys and the coaches and the staff wanted to be a part of, that they wanted to protect. When you care about something, do you protect it? Yep. And that you were proud of it. That I'm proud to be a New England Patriot. I'm proud of the way that we do things. I'm proud of the way we prepare. I'm proud of the way we practice. Okay? And I'm proud of my teammates for the effort in which they play. So that was my goal, okay, to get started. And then you're gonna eventually believe in that and then start to trust it. The goals for our program, the overriding goals for that program that we're gonna build is gonna be, one, to win the division. Okay, when was the last time the New England Patriots won the division? Does anybody know? 2019, right? And we have one player, Joe Cardona, that's one person. So we're building our own identity. We're building our own team. We're building our own program. There's going to be things within that are different. There's going to be things within that are the same. Okay? And it's all going to be based on how do we make you guys, okay, as good as you possibly can be as an individual, as a player, and then as a teammate. That's going to be our whole goal. And you have to start understanding that of why we're doing what we're doing. The training staff, the equipment staff, the kitchen staff, these people are all here to do what? What are they here to do? To help you. They're here to help you do your job. They aren't here to be your valet, to be your housekeeper, to be your maid, to be your butler. You get where I'm going? Okay, we're going to treat those people with the utmost respect. Okay, if you got a problem, you can cuss me out. I'm a big boy. I promise you, we can handle it. But we're going to treat those people with a hell of a lot of respect. Just so we're all on the same page. Like, that's important to me. That's important to our owner. That's important to me. That's important to everybody here, is how you treat people in this building. That's important.
Great stuff. Great stuff. It's exactly what this team needs. It's exactly what I was hoping for. You're getting it. Mike Vrabel putting his thumbprint for, and it's so much of 99% of what he said is common sense. It really is. And professionalism. That's what it is. So I'm looking at some of the missed reactions, mostly a positive. Of course, you get the one knucklehead. There's some knuckleheads out there that you can't tell grown men or millionaires to put themselves. Shut up. It's amazing. You just think about it, and this does happen because I've been told by reporters exactly what Mike Vrabel just said. Guys will do a set of weights, whatever it is, and then go stop after 15, get up, go check their cell phone, go back, lift more. I mean, what is that? It's insane. And some organizations let you get away with it. Those organizations stink, and maybe people like Gerard Mayo last year just didn't get it, and that kind of lack of discipline, there's no doubt about it, what was going on. You just tell by the way the offensive line played. They're false starting and holding on every single play just about. And that was just one aspect. And again, like Gerard Mayo a lot, just was not ready for that position. But they've corrected it. Mike Vrabel putting his thumbprint on it. Angel, I was very impressed. Happy to hear it, and I'm sure most of the players are going to oblige him, and the ones that don't, see ya.
Yep, that's why I sent you the text last night, because for that, I caught it. I'm like, man, this is what you need. It's no nonsense. Let him know exactly what's going on, and a lot of it is common sense. I mean, you shouldn't have your cell phone out for every little thing. It's not that important. It's like people behind the wheel on the road. Why did Florida have to wait so long to make that a bill? Who knows? But the same way here in the locker room, it should be one of those things that especially with the hoods, he is 1,000% right.
Yeah.
Just show some respect.
Lack of respect. And whatever. I guess not baseball hats, but yeah. Make sure everybody can see your face and see what
because it's the right thing to do. Just put the hood down, listen to what coach is talking about, because you end up missing something. That he's making sure that you're not sleeping because you chose to go out the night before and stay out till 4 a.m. and then show up at practice at 6 a.m. So, do the right thing.
Stop talking about Tyreek Hill. We'll get to that in a second. Police called to Tyreek Hill's house yesterday, which we'll get into with Trevor Harris a little bit more. I'm sure it's going to be the lead story today over WQAM in Miami. But Tyreek Hill and his wife, soon to be ex-wife, because reportedly she got served divorce papers on Tuesday. And they had a little spat at the house. There was a bruised chest involved for her. I'll get into the details in a couple of minutes here. But she says it was an accident. Nevertheless, Tyreek Hill's mother-in-law is the one that called the police for fear for her daughter's life.
Oh, boy.
Tyreek Hill in trouble again. We'll get to that in a second. All right, Angel. So if Mike Vrabel tickling your fancy isn't enough, I've got Bill Belichick on mic'd up, coaching North Carolina's players up yesterday. It looks like he's taking going with the offense here. But this is great stuff from Bill Belichick as well. UNC head coach Bill Belichick mic'd up at spring practice. This is pretty cool.
We got one-on-one. Mondo, we got to get the gloves on these guys. Just holding on every play, usually twice. Hey, good route. That's the right idea. It's close. Good job on the split safeties. Yeah. We hit them in no huddle. We hit them here. At least we're throwing the ball to the right place. Second down. We're live. Tackle in front. Tackle in front. This is live. It's live. Tackle in front. Stay off the quarterback.
Come off the edge and it's a run. You don't want me to get him from the side, do you?
No, just we know you got him. Get on the sideline. Tag off, stay up the quarterback, tag off on the runners. This is not live. But we're competing here. You got a lot of pressure anyway. Just clear him. That'll clear him. All right, here we go. First down. Hold on. Freddie, 4 seconds.
4 seconds. Hey, one play.
We'll put it on the 9.
Situational football.
Good call, Bobby. You're getting those. You're getting a lot of those. Like, damn near every call you make is a good call. I'm telling you.
Going to Wrestling Academy soon.
Yeah. Seam.
See,
Then we hit.
opposite of rotation, yep.
Then we hit a
In cut.
and then we hit a.
Fade ball. One-on-one.
That's how you move the ball down the field. You got to hit some of those plays. And look, there were still 30 seconds left on the clock.
Gotcha.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Nice job. Nice job. What was the next play we hit? An in cut. Then was the last play we hit? Go against there. That's how you move the ball. You got to hit some of those plays. It's a lot quieter over there on defense when we make a few plays. That's how we shut them up. Right? We shut them up by making some positive plays.
Oh, man.
That's it.
Man, if you don't think North Carolina is going to be a team to be reckoned with this year in the ACC, I'm telling you, that is coaching. That I love that stuff. You know, did you see how the quarterback had to be like 3 or 4 plays ahead? They put the ball on the 9-yard line with 4 seconds to go. They got it up to there, but that is the brilliance of Bill Belichick and what he can do. What great coaches can do. I mean, that's I can watch stuff like that all day.
2 things. One, does he have an extra pep in his step because he seems to have slimmed down just a little bit, and obviously the legs are getting a little more muscular. And then the other thing is, how is North Carolina not so? I know the tickets aren't on sale yet, but how is it that there's no talk that it is already sold out for the upcoming season?
Oh, I don't. I mean, it's because we're in. It's April 10th. That's why. But look, they're playing on week. They'll be on national TV. Who they got? TCU the first game, I think.
Think so. Yeah.
Against. I mean, it's just. I am telling you to watch out, including my Miami Hurricanes. Better watch out for North Carolina this year because it shouldn't surprise you that and I'm telling you right now they're going to be. My guess is they're going to be a top 15 team. About 4 or 5 weeks in, and then this is a team that might be able to sneak into the postseason. It's very, very possible. They're going to be really good. You know they're going to be disciplined. You know they're going to be well coached. There is no question about that. Anyway, all right. I guess I have to talk about the. Let me see. Before we get to that, what else? Like I said, Shedeur Sanders is visiting with the Steelers today. As well,
Kyle Cord also is going to be there.
Who?
Kyle Cord, I believe.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, yes, we will get into what happened, an emotional night in Dallas last night as everybody was cheering for Luka Doncic against it. You know, he had 45. He played well. It's a crappy Dallas team. That game was actually tied late in the third quarter, and then the Lakers pulled away. I mean, I don't know how they weren't going to win that game, but it was emotional for Luka Doncic. I get it. Unlike ESPN, I'm not going to spend the first hour on it. We'll do a little blurb about it and then move on to the Red Sox, which is more of a blurb. We'll hear from Tanner Houck. We'll hear from Alex Cora. After last night's loss again, the Red Sox bats have gone silent here in the last 3 days at Fenway Park, and hopefully they can turn it around today. Meanwhile, Angels, Philadelphia Phillies, I believe, won again. We'll get to do a baseball rundown as well. Some crazy finishes last night around all the sports, MLB, NHL, NBA. We'll get to all of it before our guests come on starting at 8 o'clock with Jay Flannelly, Trevor Harris at 8:30, and John Meter-Perrell at 9:05. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here today on a Thursday on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
And he relishes a chance to get a little get back.
Oh, we talked about in the open. These are the moments that you don't worry about Luka in. But even for me, seeing that emotion in his eyes, it was, how is it going to be in the first half?
Doncic inside, puts it up and in, 45 for Doncic. And Doncic now 16 of 28 from the field. Luka Lunacy returns here to Dallas. Mavericks and, of course, Laker fans as well, showing him such affection and respect. He's going to commit a foul, and now will come out of the game. A night for Doncic that began in tears.
And I cried after too. So now that the Laker drama is now over, Luka Doncic returned to Dallas, and it was pretty emotional. I was watching it on my phone while I was watching the Red Sox try to score, and then I turned the last few minutes on and stuff. Yeah, good night for Luka Doncic and the Lakers. Yes, give them their props. They went and beat a horrible Dallas team. They got it done. Very emotional in his return. Great stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Good for Luka. Shocked at the deal. I'll give him credit because it obviously was an incredibly emotional night for him. I wasn't sure how he was going to play. I would not have thought he was going to drop 45. He had said, he wasn't sure he's even going to be playing in the game. Angel, if we could scroll down, this would be the only Laker video you get for the day for a long time. Unless they lose, under ESPN, it's right. It's under the Nesson thing, but it's Luka after the game on his return. That's it. Thanks.
Yippers.
Thank you, Luka. You said that you didn't know what your emotions were going to be like tonight. Just what were you feeling out there on the court?
I don't know, honestly. Everybody saw me the way I reacted to the video. All these fans, I really appreciate it, man. All the teammates I had, everybody had my back. I'm just happy, this guy, I love these fans. I love the city, but it's time to move on.
What was it like for you sitting there watching all that love, watching that video pregame?
So many emotions. Can't even explain it, Brought tears to my eyes. Like I said, I came as a young kid here with 18, and I know what to expect from NBA, and that made me feel like home, and it's just a lot of great memories.
How were you able to not be too emotional, to still come out and play and perform the way you did?
I don't know how I did it, because when I was watching that video, I was like, there's no way I'm playing this game. But all my teammates had my back. They were really supporting me, so I really appreciate that.
Other than getting the win, other than putting up 45, what was the best part about coming back home here to Dallas?
First of all, I could sleep in my bed, but then just to be back with the fans that I spent 6.5 years with, supporting me like that was just unbelievable for me.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sleep in his bed. People forget he had just bought a house, I think, right before the trade.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he just bought a house right before the trade. Here's more from Luka on his return to Dallas.
You said that you didn't know what your emotions...
Oh, nope, sorry, that's the same cut. Okay, meanwhile, J.J. Redick after the game.
Start by saying the moment with the tribute video and him sitting by himself and getting to actually live that and live in the moment and allowing himself to be vulnerable and his teammates supporting. Some of his teammates got emotional. Some of the coaches got emotional. It was a beautiful moment. I thought the video was great, but I think just his ability to then go perform, lights turn on. He's teary-eyed still as we walk out on the court for the tip ball. To have the emotional resolve to then go put on that kind of performance, it's superhuman.
Follow up on Luka, as a former teammate, and then you spent years watching him. He's known to rise to big moments, I suppose it's fair to say, but to be able to do it on top of the emotional setting, is that kind of a different level?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to get 50. I was disappointed.
So he let you down?
All right, that's enough of that. Something I can't get enough of. Remember what happened at OKC when Luka got ejected for yelling at a fan? And the fan's name is Jeremy Price. And he was on Sirius XM NBA radio. They actually tracked him down. He got ejected because the ref thought Luka was yelling at him. He was yelling at the fan a few rows up. And here was Jeremy Price on Sirius XM NFL NBA radio talking about the incident on Tuesday.
What was your initial reaction? Because the video of you are kind of waving goodbye to Luka. So in that moment, did you feel like you won? But also take us through everything that happened the seconds before, during, and after Luka Doncic was ejected last night.
There's always been healthy banter back and forth with Luka, even when he was a member of the Mavs, you know, when they'd come visit OKC, as well as when we traveled down last year during the playoffs in their arena. There was not a vindication for it. It's just back and forth. So basically, we do polite heckling, and I do mean that's very PG in our section. We don't cross the line. We keep it in the game. And in this particular instance, free throws, he had missed a free throw. We're saying short, calling the shot short. But in this instance, he was driving to the basket in that sequence, and I yelled short, meaning like his shot was going to be short. He made it. He turned around, as he generally does, and shot an explicative in that direction. JT seemed to take offense to it and teed him up, and that happened to be the second one that ended his night last night.
Yep. Now there you have it. All the drama from the other night and the Lakers, and we'll see where they end up finishing. I stand by. They will be bounced. It's not because I hate them. I just think they will bounce in the first round. I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt to get through the first round to the second, but not for the potential matchups that are there. I just don't think they have the defense, and I don't think they have the discipline to play defense when the game is going to be more of a half-court game. And I think a lot of people are going to be watching how the Celtics handled them last year. Not that everybody can do it, but they're going to watch what Jaylen Brown did to Doncic in the postseason last year and what the Celtics did to him this year and other teams as well. And he gets flustered when his offense is not flowing and affects his defense. But we shall see. Elsewhere in the NBA last night, Chicago over Miami, 119-111. Orlando beat the Celtics 96-76 last night, but here was a great play by Keita, rocking the rim. This was the play of the game, by the way.
Easy seeing him. But you know what? When my kids do it, like, oh, yeah. Oh, throw up on that. We had a throw up, and now a throw down. Middle. Coming right at you. That's Statue of Liberty. Put that torch up. Bam.
Drew Carter, Brian Scalabrine with the call on NBC Sports Boston. I will give you an Orlando highlight as well. This was pretty good.
Anthony, good energy tonight from Cole. He missed the shot, but an offensive rebound for Goga. No look pass. Wagner dunks and a foul.
That's a nice job. Second chance opportunity, using that size, and Goga doing a good job. I think Goga would rather.
Wagner with the skying for the dunk. Anyway, the Celtics didn't play their top 7 players, probably going to get fined. Not surprised. I think you'll see more of that on Sunday as well when they close out their season against Charlotte. They play Charlotte on Friday night. You'll probably see their full arsenal on Friday night for a few minutes just to get in shape, and then that'll be it on Sunday. You'll see more of the I don't even know how they did it last night, really. But they were. I told you, they were not winning that game last night. That's the one time all year. There was another time this year against Detroit a couple of months ago, and I said this is one of the games that they're probably going to lose, and they did. How about Angels, Philadelphia 76ers? My goodness.
Ricky going to work. Ricky taking it to the rack, counted in the foul for Council.
One more look at it. Oh, a lot of contact.
A lot of support there. 122-103, Philadelphia wins. I think that game was in Washington where like 10 people show up. Toronto, 126 to 96. We went through the Lakers beating Dallas 112-97. I'm done doing highlights for that one. In overtime, Utah over Portland in a game no one gives a shit about. 133 to 126 in overtime. And how about this one? Maybe one of the games of the night. Golden State loses.
Harrison Barnes launching the three. Got it! The Spurs win the walk-off. HB got some separation and bottoms the game winner right there. That's good. Jimmy for the Warriors, 47-33.
Jimmy Butler was there. He just rose up, fading away a little bit.
Good offense beats good defense in the NBA.
Look at the bench reaction. They are trying to play spoiler. They were successful tonight.
They almost got the Clippers last night.
Good offense beats good defense in the NBA. How many times do I hear the opposite? Good defense beats good offense in the NBA. No, in every sport, good balance is good balance. That's what you need. That's what you need. But that's a stunner. The hapless San Antonio Spurs winning, but that's why they play the games. OKC easily over Phoenix. Phoenix might as well just. I mean, there's only a couple games left, but they packed it in about a month ago.
Yep.
Phoenix loses again to OKC, 125-112. Denver over Sacramento, 124 to 116. And still, the big story there is why Mike Malone got fired. Really cowardly act by Nuggets ownership to do this now. It didn't make any sense. I figured they'd beat Sacramento last night, and they did 124 to 116. Here is Dan Sheppard on his podcast talking of the Mike Malone firing.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, you talk about moronic decisions. I thought trading Luka Doncic was stupid. I thought firing Taylor Jenkins, the most successful coach in Memphis Grizzlies history, was stupid with less than a month to go. But, I mean, the Nuggets firing Michael Malone with 3 games remaining in the regular season takes the cake without question. You are talking about a guy that not only is the most successful coach in the history of that franchise, but he's less than 2 years removed from an NBA championship. And not only an NBA championship he won in 2023, but he steamrolled his way through the NBA playoffs, going 16-4 with 1 All-Star. Speaking of that 1 All-Star, Nikola Jokic, there's 3 other starters on the Denver Nuggets. Christian Brown, Michael Porter Jr., and some guy named Jamal Murray, and we call him Playoff Jamal here on SiriusXM NBA Radio. All 4 of those guys, the only NBA head coach they know is Michael Malone. And Aaron Gordon, yes, he had a good amount of years in Orlando. The best year he's ever had was 2 years ago under the leadership of Michael Malone. This makes no sense. This is moronic. This is baffling. This is bewildering. It is bordering on literal NBA malpractice. It's that stupid. And you let the guy finish out the season. Still, if there was tension between him and the general manager, Calvin Booth. It happens. It's professional sports. There's a lot of egos involved. There's a lot of competitive spirits, interacting with each other. So what? Let them finish out the damn regular season and the postseason. You know they were going to at least have home court advantage. Yes, I get the fact that they've lost 5 straight. How many games has Jamal Murray been on the court for that? He's dealing with a series of plethora of injuries this year, as has Aaron Gordon. The fact that the Nuggets are even in the driver's seat to have home court advantage is mightily impressive. Also, Michael Malone, you talk about being a defending NBA champion. They're the most successful defending NBA champion in the last 7 years because no NBA champ the following season has made it to at least a Game 7 of a Western Conference or Eastern Conference semifinals. They just got matched up with the wrong team in Minnesota. I guess 2025 in the NBA has become the year of how do I top the next franchise for the dumbest, most asinine move that a franchise can possibly think of. And Nuggets fans deserve a hell of a lot better than this. But Michael Malone, he's going to land on his feet somewhere, and it's going to be the Nuggets' loss. And the next to go, shout out to Justin Termine, because I saw him tweet this, is going to be Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, a round of applause. Absolutely summed it up very succinctly right there. No question about it. Now, I saw a report / rumor out there today that the Nuggets are going to go after Dan Hurley from UConn. Now, I remember what happened last year when the Lakers tried this. It looked like it was about to get done, and he turned it down. And I don't see him. If you're not going to take the Laker job, I seriously don't think he's going to move his family to Colorado and take the Denver job. I don't see that happening. But nevertheless, get ready because that rumor is out there that the Nuggets are at least going to ask or inquire about Dan Hurley, head coach at UConn. The other final last night won the Clippers over Houston, 134 to 117. So the Lakers could be playing the Clippers. They could be playing not Houston. They could be playing Denver, Golden State. Any one of those teams is going to knock the Lakers out in the first round. I'm telling you, any one of those teams that they play, they have to play one of those 3 teams. They're getting knocked out in the first round. All right, let's do an MLB rundown. As soon as I can find it here on my list of Total Sports Prep. Great information that we get. All right, here we go. Texas and the Cubbies went at it yesterday, and Corey Seager does it again. Of course, it's Seager.
Oh, we play day baseball here. That's ripped out to right. And that is gone. A laser just over that wire basket in right field. A 2-homer day for Corey Seager. And the Rangers make it 6-1. Watch out.
Ranger Sports Network right there. Yes, he had one in the top of the first that made it 1-0, and he hits one there in the bottom of the, what was that? Doesn't say. There you go. But anyway, 6-1, 6-2 was the final. Cleveland and the White Sox go at it as well.
He delivers. Swung at and ripped. Deep right field. Away, back and gone.
Jesus Christ.
Carlos Santana, a laser. And the Guardians with a 3-1 lead on his second home run on a night where you didn't think anybody would get one out of Progressive Field.
Yeah, he may have had the right trajectory to get it out tonight. It wasn't too high, and he hit it a ton. 39 in one day, and he's still strong enough.
And it's like, what, game 13 or 14? Now, this game ended freakishly. The White Sox had a chance to win it. Here's the last play of the game.
It all comes down to Miguel Vargas. Swings at the first one. It gets through to left field. One comes in, and we might have an injury. Oh, no. Talkman comes up and can't score. He just came off of a hamstring tweak off the IL a couple days ago, and he was unable to get home as he rounded the bag at third, started limping.
Yeah, that was literally a few feet before home plate. Just awful. But the Cleveland Indians, the Guardians win over the White Sox by a score.
Where are the Indians?
3-2. An interesting play, Pittsburgh and St. Louis. An interesting game yesterday. Check out this.
Popped it up. Bart didn't know where it was initially. It still doesn't. So Andy Rodriguez, oh my! A big-time collision. He's out at the plate because of the heads-up play by Hayes, but that was a big-time collision. Andy Rodriguez came flying in from first base. Well, that's a great sign to see him get up, and a little smile even. What a play at the plate by Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Brian Hayes comes in from third base. When you see the video, it's unbelievable. Great instincts by him, but a massive collision by the catcher Joey Bart and first baseman Andy Rodriguez. Right. And I'm like, I don't know where it became, unless it's a pop-up that's right onto the mound and you're on the mound. I remember all the years I played, I didn't want, if there was a pop-up near me and I was pitching, I didn't want anybody, I'll take it. I don't trust anybody else. Get the fuck away from me. I got it. You know, unless it's right on the mound. The only time I would back off if it was a pop-up right above the mound because I don't want you tripping over the rubber. But other than that, I'm like, I used to scream, get away! I got it! You know, so, but it's like this rule of thumb that the pitcher can't catch. It would have been an easy play for the pitcher to make that. Would have been an easy play. Anyway, the game is tied at 1, and here comes Bat.
Again, no career walk-offs for Joey Bart. Fly ball left field, plenty deep. This is going to win it. Joey Bart will get the base hit to walk it off. Raise the Jolly Roger. The marathon on a Wednesday afternoon in early April. 13 innings, 2-1 Pirates. They take the series.
Thought I heard that on Cinemax late night one time. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Exactly. By the way, here's the collision.
I make a joke. Soft mark as it is. Meanwhile, the Dodgers in Washington, a pretty good game yesterday. Finally, the Dodgers get back on track.
0-2 pitch. Crack bat flare, and the Dodgers take the lead. Teoscar Hernandez, as he so often does, comes through. On an 0-2 pitch, breaks his bat on a base hit to right field to score Ohtani. And the Dodgers have retaken the lead.
Not pretty, but certainly effective.
Thanks to Spectrum Sportsnet for that one. And Teoscar Hernandez had a 2-run homer early in the game that made it 4-0 Dodgers in the first, but they hung on there. They needed that hit in the 7th to win it and hung on 6-5. Toronto and Boston played a sleeper of a game.
Bo Bichette, the batter, the infield in for Boston.
Line drive center field. It's caught, but here comes Clement to score the go-ahead run. It's 2-1 Blue Jays.
Well, I just know Bo was going to get that runner in from third base. He is such a good hitter.
Yeah, both teams scored in the first inning. Went to extra innings, and I really hate that rule. You know, putting the guy in second base in extra innings. I cannot stand it. I really, it's one thing in Major League Baseball. I wish they would get rid of it. And I don't think, did they do that in the postseason? I can't even remember if they do.
I think.
I don't think they do. Miami and the Mets. Mets in trouble.
3-2, runner goes. There's a swing and a fly ball in the air, deep right field. Soto's back, warning track at the wall. Goodbye. Matt Mervis with his third home run of the season. And it's 5-0 Miami. Off of Diaz here in the ninth.
Oh, big blow right there. That ball just kept carrying out to right field. Big inning for the Marlins.
Yeah, and you know, the play of the day in that game, Angel, was the last out. Pete Alonso at the plate. I don't know if you can find it real quick and pull it up. I know you got, but Pete Alonso hits a massive ball to deep center field, and the Marlins center fielder, I think his last name Meyer, makes an unbelievable, almost over the head catch and smashes face first with the sunglasses on right into the wall to end the game. And that was like, I mean, I couldn't believe that he didn't smash his. I couldn't believe it, that the glasses didn't go into his face, that it didn't end up in the hospital. He robbed Pete Alonso. But my God, it was that was something. Did you find it by chance?
Give me a second. I'm trying to look for it here.
Right. While you're doing that, we'll get to that. Minnesota gets back on track. They blank Kansas City by a score of 4-0.
France unloads to left field and deep. Back it goes, deep it goes, and gone. Joan Duran catches that one to the bullpen. And Ty France with his first as a Twin. It's a 4-0 lead here in the ninth inning.
Ty France continue his tear here at the K in Kansas City. Hanging breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Dropped the barrel and drove this ball into the Twins bullpen. You can tell by the way he.
Thanks to Twin Sports Network there. It sounded like they were doing it from a studio. Maybe because there's hardly anybody there in Kansas City at the game, and the way the window was open in the press box or whatever. That sounded like they were not even there. It sounded like they were in the studio here. Arizona blank Baltimore 9-0. Seattle and Houston in a nail biter.
It's now Julio the winning run at third base. 3-2.
Pretty quiet, but they were able to put a nice little rally together here in the bottom of the ninth. And Randy Arozarena finishes the job with a little walk-off walk.
In fact, here's that grand slam. Should have played that first, but I forgot.
1-1. Hammered high, a rising blast, left field, Dubon watching, gone! Grand slam!
Randy Arozarena down by the schoolyard.
Well, you were saying they needed to get something
Randy
in this
Arozarena down by the
situation, and Randy
schoolyard.
Arozarena makes it happen.
How about this? Cincinnati and San Francisco, the Reds involved in the game where they scored more than 2 runs. How about that? Except in the end, they lose thanks to Mike Yastrzemski again.
So here's Mike Yastrzemski.
High drive to right. It is out of here.
Easy, Johnny.
And we are going home.
Johnny Miller.
What a way to end this homestand.
Is that Johnny Miller? No,
and what a way to end this ball game.
And what a way to head into New York and start a weekend series and play the Yankees. You got to have some swagger going into that yard.
Yeah, you do. San Diego nipped the A's by a score of 2-1. And Tampa Bay over the Angels by a score of 5-4. And that one here is where is the winning hit? This is the one. Ends up being the winning hit.
And a fly ball into right with some carry. Trout will go to the wall, and it is gone. Home run to the opposite side for Yandy Diaz. And the Rays get an additional run. He drops it in the seats in right. Rays now lead 5-3.
All right, and finally, there's a cut here from Nolan Schammel on Sirius XM, MLB Network Radio, on the Angels' no phone policy.
There was only a few select guys that kind of were upset about the rule, and but after, I think after the first day, they everybody was on board for it. They realized it's not going to be that bad. If you really because if you really need to go on it, you could leave, you could go to either the food room or something and go hop on real quick, send that text. But for us, it hasn't been a big deal at all. I don't think anyone's really wanted to break the rule. You know, it's enjoyable to be around everybody, and it's kind of not a big deal for us.
All right, Philadelphia and Atlanta and a nail biter also.
Fly ball left field, going back on it is Eli White to the wall. It is gone! Into the first row, Trey Turner. He has given the Phils the lead. It is 4-3 here in the top of the ninth inning. His first home run of the year.
I always say the hitter lets you know. He walked up out of there very confident it was going to get out, and it does.
A lot of Phillies fans in Atlanta stunning the Braves by a score. They win the game 4-3. Milwaukee got 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They beat Colorado 17-2. The Yankees finally get back on track too, and they beat Detroit 4-3. All right, Angel, is this the end? Is this Pete Alonso in the bat? Is it Meyer in center field? I think. Watch this. This is unbelievable.
Well, this thing was smoked off of the bat of Alonso. Look, Myers is playing shallow, just like Hill. Goes back one step away from the ball. Wow. The wall, face blast. Wow. Oh. It's really nice to see him get up from that.
That's insane.
I can't believe it.
Oh, my God. Well, this thing was smoked.
How did his sunglasses not shatter into his
face? Yeah.
His eyes or anything like that.
Yep.
Wow.
His neck, the way he got to tweak his neck so bad just the way he ended up coming down. But, man, you talk about chasing it down.
Watch this again. Let's play it one more time in fast motion.
The bat of Alonso. Look, Myers is playing shallow, just like Hill. Goes back one step away from the ball. The wall, face blast. Wow. It's really nice to see him get up from that.
Wait a minute, Freddie went proud. Oh my God!
Well,
he's got cooking miles an hour into a wall.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that he didn't get any injury there that I know about. You didn't by chance find the Pittsburgh thing, did you?
From Pittsburgh.
No, but that's the guy. That doesn't matter. That doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Matter.
Wait, hold on. You talking about coming home?
Yes. The third baseman coming and running in and covering the plate after the catcher and the first baseman collided on the pop-up to the pitcher.
Oh, yeah, no, I found that one earlier. That's when no one had up on the screen. Give me a second.
Okay.
I got to go back to that one now.
Yep. No worries. Quickly, NHL rundown. Toronto beat Tampa Bay. Big win for the Maple Leafs by a score of 4-3. Philadelphia, the clobber the Rangers 8-5. Minnesota in overtime. What a game this was. Hold on, everybody. We're going to hear this call.
Boldy will head to the bench. And we see Zuccarello. Spurgeon leaves for Kaprizov. Kaprizov drops Zuccarello. Back to Kaprizov. He scores! It's an overtime win for the Wild.
8-7 in overtime. Big win for the Minnesota Wild right there. Macklin Celebrini, by the way, former BU kid, had a hat trick for the Sharks. Edmonton beats St. Louis. That's 2 losses in a row now for the Blues after winning 12 in a row. Anaheim over Calgary in overtime by a score of 4-3. The Calgary Flames were up 3-1 with like $1:30 left and lost and blew it. Okay, here's the play in Pittsburgh I was talking about yesterday. A funky play. Watch this. You'll see. And focus on the third baseman for the Pirates.
Popped it up. Bart didn't know where it was initially. It still doesn't. So Andy Rodriguez, oh my! A big-time collision. He's out at the plate because of the heads-up play by Hayes, but that was a big-time collision. Andy Rodriguez came flying in from first base. Still down. Tony Leo, assistant athletic trainer. Boy, that's a great sign to see him get up. Great sign. And a little smile even.
Yeah, play it again.
Popped it up. Bart didn't know where it was
freeze
initially.
it right there. Freeze it right there if you can. It's a pitcher's ball. It's such an easy. Just get the pitcher, take it. Yeah. I don't know what happens. It's like a kryptonite. It's like the pitcher's Superman and the ball is kryptonite. Anytime it's popped up in front of the catcher, I can understand it if the ball is popped up right. And it's at the pitcher's mound. I get that. All right. But this is such an easy play for the pitcher. This will not happen. This should not happen in the major leagues. I'm sorry. I don't know where this unwritten rule comes where the pitcher cannot field a pop-up. Go ahead, play it.
Well, it's the new rule called the 5-3-4-6-1 play.
Yeah, but you see how easy the pitcher is right here to get the ball? Easy, easy.
Yeah, super easy. And even
after not him, the catcher. It's right there. I mean, anyway, go ahead, play it one more time.
Rodriguez, oh my! A big-time collision. He's out at the plate because of the heads-up play by Hayes, but that was a big-time collision. Andy Rodriguez came flying in from first base. Still down. Tony Leo, assistant athletic trainer. Boy, that's a great sign to see him get up.
Yes, it is. All right, we're not going to play a break here, but before Jay Planley comes on, he's still thawing out, but it's that time real quick. I told you I would give you Masters updates. My mouse would only work. I'd really be able to do it. Okay, we're just underway, Barbara Wawa. Riley is even. Kizzery and Hugard are 1 over par. We've just begun. Weir, Kim, Young, Johnson, Highsmith, Kirk, Willett, Thompson, Bernard Longer. The amateur, Kent, Smith, Couples, English. And of course, the eventual winner, Scotty Scheffler, who I have $5 to win 29 after he takes the lead. There's your
Jay's holding up the quiet sign.
There's your Masters update. From yours truly here, Pete Sheppard on the Coastal Sports Network. And we say with that, good morning. We head out to the beautiful city of Ann Arbor, where Jack Frost over there is still thawing out from the game. I can't wait to hear Jay Planley in Ann Arbor. Second time this week. We're going to talk some football, but I do want to hear your experience from the get-go watching. Who were the Wolverines playing? Akron?
Hello, friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Frostbites.
The funny part is when you and I talked on Tuesday, I thought Tuesday was going to be really bad. And it was bad, but we also mercy ruled 13-0, and we threw our first no-hitter since 1994.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And the sun was out. And the sun was out, it seemed.
It didn't. Nobody gave a shit, Pete, because we froze our behinds off. So, but
how many people in the stadium? Honestly,
probably about 200 to 300, maybe.
That's not bad.
No, we'll talk about yesterday, which was much worse. But yeah, it was cool. And the cool thing about the no hitter was Tate Carey pitched the no hitter, and his family they're from Canada, they're there at every game. So it was pretty cool. And these midweek games are almost always spot starts, so you don't know how long guy's going to throw,
Sure.
how he's going to play. And he was really good. He minimized his work and got us out of there pretty good. And the team played really well. Now, yesterday, Pete, I should have taken videos and pictures of this. So we had an ice and slush storm in the middle of the game. I haven't been this cold in my life, and it was awful.
They played in it.
Yes. No. Let me. I'm just kidding. It's about to get much worse.
Oh God.
So we were winning the whole game until about the 5th or 6th inning.
And who are you playing again?
Oakland University yesterday.
California. Okay.
No. The local one.
The one in the Midwest. Yes.
Yeah.
They made the NCAA tournament a couple times, but continue.
Yeah. Greg Kempfe, the coach, he's very popular. Yes. Yep. So we were winning, and they started scoring runs and getting close, and then they hit a home run in the 8th inning to tie the game. And then we went in the extra. They took the lead.
No.
They took the lead in the 10th.
Oh no.
No. It gets better.
In the 10th.
In the 10th, they took the lead by a run. So the last two pitchers they pitched in the game, Oakland, they couldn't field the ball, so they started walking everybody, and we won on 2 on bases loaded walks.
What do you mean they couldn't field the ball?
They couldn't field the ball. Their pitchers couldn't.
I thought you said field the ball.
They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that either, Pete. But I mean, it was so bad. I mean, it was. I was joking with, it was just me and the parents, and I'm walking around checking our brand and saying, you know what, the University of Hawaii looks better every day, doesn't it? and then I got a couple of them to laugh. I go, you'd have to be a really smart guy to leave this place to go to Clemson. So, and they all got that joke. So so it was. Oh my God!
Wow, I can't even imagine.
And remember, one of the main people I sit with are the Mans, and their son used to play football here too. So these aren't. If you have kids that play baseball in the Midwest, you're used to this.
Yeah, in the Northeast too.
That too. Yeah. Yes, but this is ridiculous. I mean, it was.
It's not big. I can't believe that extra innings. Oh my Lord!
I don't want to say this. I'll say it. Yep. I was sitting with one of the pitchers who was involved in this, going to extra innings, and I sat there for a minute and wanted dastardly things done. I mean, I'm sitting there, and these are great people.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I swear to God, I almost walked out. It was so bad. I mean, and we had a game last year. It was a midweek against Michigan State where the weather was awful all day. And then it started pouring. And all the parents went in the corners because there's a couple roofs. Yeah. There's a couple of roofs in each corner of the home plate area where you can sit and not get rained on. And I saw our players getting drowned. So I sat in the stands. I was the one guy, and our players were like, Beeves effing nuts. What the hell is he doing?
For the team, baby. Now, how far is the baseball field from the big house?
Oh, about a 5-minute walk. It's if you look in the softball and baseball fields right next to each other and adjacent. Now the football building is like 50 yards away from our bullpen, our left field third base bullpen, the Schembeckler Hall, the football building. The football stadium is about a 5-minute walk away either way, but the two ways to it. There's the one over by softball, and there's a way over by the track and swimming and everything, which is next to us. You have to go around because there's a train tracks that divides the athletic campus and the football stadium, which is Chrysler Arena, where we play basketball, and also the big house.
Could you not have gone up to the press box at all? Or, I mean, Do they have any suites up there? I'm sure they have something. Some sort of cover for the media. The Big Ten Network broadcast the games. I think.
I know. We
Plus
used to. Yeah, we used to do that in one of the. I don't know if they. There's two rented boxes. One of them has the parents. I mean the families of the coaches have that, and most of them don't use it. And then there was another one in the corner, which we did 2 years ago, but we haven't used that like we used to. After yesterday, I mean, hell, I might put a down payment on it. But I mean, it was.
It's one of those games you get a hot chocolate, take your glove off, and dip your hand in so you don't get frostbitten.
Well, it was the second time all year I couldn't feel my damn hands, and I had to stop texting.
Oh, jeez.
I said, "Hey, the University of Hawaii is looking better every day, and you'd have to be really a smart guy to go to Clemson." So I should probably make those in the hats and sell them to the parents.
Wow.
But
well, God bless you. I'm glad you made it. I was worried about you. But I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
No, and the funny thing is, and I mentioned the Mans because their son played football here too until recently. That the thing that's different about the baseball, it's colder, excuse me, than football because it's open air and we're in the windiest part of campus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you called up to God and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's put a stadium in the middle of Ann Arbor and put it in the coldest place we can find." They put it there, and it's at the point now where if I don't show up for one of these, the kids freak out. They think I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or the parents like send SWAT team and cops to come get me. And sometimes I have to text them and tell them, "Listen, I'm tired of work. I'm going to be late." Like last couple of days, these midweek games, I'm never there on time.
Yeah. But now, is the football team been practicing outside? I know they obviously have a great indoor facility too, but will they be practicing outside in that crap?
Yeah,
too?
they have indoor and outdoor facility. And Pete, we're not Ohio State. We can handle weather and toughness.
They won the national championship, by the way, in case you forgot.
I know they didn't beat us, and they hear about it every day of their lives. So, I mean, that's and if you think I'm kidding, ask them about it. They hear about it every day of their lives.
I know they do. I know they do. So
Will Howard talked about it. Will Howard talked about it at his pro day, where he said he's being devalued because of the Michigan thing. Well, Will, that's part of the thing. When you play bad on a game tape, people look at it and say mean, nasty things. I mean, that's just the way life is.
Yeah.
JJ had to hear about the TCU game for 2 years, and that worked out pretty good. And look at his stats in that game. They really weren't that bad.
No, they weren't. All right, let's get into it because I want to let's talk some football here.
Yeah.
Adam Sheppard earlier this morning tweeted out that Shadur Sanders is going to be visiting. He's going to be in Pittsburgh today to visit with the Steelers, which I don't know how early on this was set up. I do find it interesting. Am I reading too much into it, that this could be a sign that the Aaron Rodgers thing might be off the table? Or is this a ploy to get inside Aaron Rodgers' head, if that's possible, get underneath that layer of narcissism that he has? And, I think it's interesting. Am I reading too much into this, you think?
No, I think you're right both ways. I think the Steelers are looking at this kid, and they're also trying to wake up Aaron Rodgers and see where his head's at. I've said this for a while. I think he's looking for alternatives to Pittsburgh. I think he's looking at the obvious one is the Vikings that everybody's talked about.
That's not happening.
And I know, I agree with you, but I'm just saying,
I know you know.
I'm just explaining how he thinks. And don't forget, I'm friends with that guy. He's trying to replace him in Minnesota. He's right over there, Mr. McCarthy.
Yes,
but I think the bigger one that people aren't talking about enough that also makes sense from his perspective is San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Because they're in negotiations with Brock Purdy. And they can use, hey, Brock, take this team-friendly deal, or we're going to move off you. We have a future Hall of Famer to replace you. And, that's where I think he thinks.
But why would the 49ers, and I think you're onto something, but I just don't know that he's got 1 year left on his contract. Why, if the 49ers, and they seem like they've sort of given up, to be honest with you. It certainly seems that way. But why would Why would they pay a whole bunch of money to Brock Purdy? They're not going to. He's under contract for one more year, so I don't know if you know.
He's on his rookie deal. He's not a
Yep.
first-round pick. He probably makes $500,000 a year. I would say the selling point for the 49ers is, Pete, name me the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFC.
Right now, well, I think in the NFC, I think you have to go with Stafford. I would, Goff. I know you hate him. Would be there. With what? I'm sorry, what? Oh, well, I think he's up there. I think I think all 3 quarterbacks.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I was going to say Jalen Hurts. I think the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFC East. You could make an argument for that.
Okay,
they should be up there.
Now let's go the other way. You can do this much easier. Name the 5 best quarterbacks in the AFC.
Well, that's come on, Mahomes.
So that's the point. If you're in the NFC, and we saw this with Baker Mayfield and Angels' great answer, Jaden Daniels, you get a good quarterback in the NFC. You can get real good real fast, and Jared Goff is not a top 3 quarterback in the NFC. He might not be a top 3 quarterback in his own division anymore by the middle of the season. That's what I think how the 49ers are thinking, and they redid their team. But they kept Ayuk. They moved off Debo. Yep. They still got Christian McCaffrey. They still got Bosa. They still have good players, and they have a last place schedule, which also is going to help them.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you don't think I like Jared Goff, you should hear me talk about Kyle Shanahan. But
I get that.
Oh my God!
Well, go ahead.
Didn't go to the combine. He doesn't go to the combine, and he's an NFL head coach.
Yeah, I suppose. I just don't know how much you learn at the combine. I really don't. I'm watching guys run around in shorts and do drills that mean nothing to me. They mean nothing to me.
Everybody except Sean McVay, I think, goes. And Sean McVay watches a lot. He gets the video updates.
If for nothing else, make connections. Monitor. I mean, whatever network, whatever it is, you might.
I'll use a famous example. A big reason why the Colts took Peyton Manning instead of Ryan Leaf was a lot of their in-person interaction with Ryan Leaf. And Ryan Leaf's a great story now because of all of his problems and drugs and stuff. And I've battled addictions myself. But that helps you evaluate. Meeting and talking to people is never a bad thing. And you just learn things. If you got in the set and talked to Randy Moss, you realize this isn't a bad guy. He's just a little high maintenance. And he's a football guy. And you realize football is important to him, guy. So, and you want guys like that. That's how you avoid busts. There are certain guys, once they get that first paycheck from the NFL, they're going to stop caring. Because you'd be stunned, Pete, at how many guys that are really good football players don't love football. There's a lot of them.
Oh, I agree. And I think that's true in a lot of sports. Hockey might be the one exception. Yeah. I mean, you gotta love what you do every day. Guys like Jaron Duran, we've just saw, and just an amazing thing going on at the clubhouse, and but stuff like that. All right, it's absolutely amazing.
I should mention the Duran thing. That is, listen, as somebody who's battled mental health stuff, it is really cool that he did that and talked about that. And thank God the gun didn't work. Yeah. But and he's become a really great player. But you do remember when he first came up, he was losing balls in the sky.
Terrible.
And just totally, this is hard. And I tell people this all the time because they booed 2 of my best friends out of this stadium, the big house, Tom Brady and Cade McNamara. Okay? Remember that when you boo these kids. They're kids. And you don't know what's going on. These kids put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to go out there and play. They're not professionals. I know they kind of are now. I'm talking about back in the day. But you have to realize that they're real people. They get families. You never know. You might be booing with their family there. When Tommy got booed out of here in the Syracuse game in 1998, his sisters were here. I think he turned out okay. But there are a lot of kids who haven't. So you have to be smart about it. What the Cade McNamara thing was also awful. Kid was fighting for his job, and he was playing with a bum knee, and he got hurt worse in the game and blew out his knee, and he left. He left and went to Iowa.
I have never been one to boo college athletes. I may get upset, but I don't boo, college basketball players or college football player. I think now, like you said, it is a little bit different because you're basically AAA, no matter what sport it is. When you compare it to AAA, so maybe
and everybody's real tough behind their keyboard and on their phones, and we're all good at Madden. We're all good at Madden, so you're better than Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, and JJ Watt. I mean, it's so effing stupid. This is why I don't go to games. I don't go to most football games. I'll go to a baseball game and freeze my tuchus off, but the what a day.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some NFL news. Interesting stuff. Yesterday on the It's Always Game Day in Buffalo podcast this week, the NFL Vice President of Broadcast Planning, Mike North, was asked if the league had set a date for the schedule release. It's what it kind of expected. He said somewhere in the May 13th, 14th, or 15th range is still target. So that means the schedule will be released.
After the draft.
Tuesday, May 13th, and Thursday, May 15th. Yeah, it's been that way for a while.
Yeah,
it used to be in April. It used to be before the draft sometimes.
So this is funny, Pete. Danielle, who's my my manager at the Garage Bar here, she and I were talking about this yesterday because we just put the Tiger schedule up on the wall, and it's beautiful. And we want to do the same thing with the Lions. And I said, well, the schedule release usually is after the draft. So we started planning because we get a nice spot for it. Because I don't know if you noticed, the Lions are pretty good and they're a big deal, but they still have Jared Goff, so they're not going to win anything when it matters. But so there you go.
All right, so
Jared Goff will not be appearing on Beaves World anytime soon. So
Dave Landley is Beaves World. So the schedule will likely be released Tuesday, May 13th, and Thursday, May 15th, somewhere in between those two. Although the league is eyeing one of those 3 dates for this year's release. But North did point out there's a small chance that the schedule could actually come out a little bit earlier. The NFL used to release the schedule in April, but the league was forced to push it back to May during the 2020 COVID season, and it's been there ever since. I don't know why. Would you rather have it like 2 days before the NFL draft or like a couple days after the NFL draft? Or do you really, or just is all right being in May?
I think they're better in May because remember, you're going to have there's enough hype and stuff with the draft. So then you get to like OTAs and rookie camps. They want to basically have something going on almost every month. And, they got a couple months before teams report in July. So, I don't know. And you got UFL, baseball, hockey, NBA. There's a lot going on.
The other thing, too, and just part of the story, is that North also said the schedule makers will be watching out for a few other things over the next couple of weeks that could impact the schedule with possible trades to where Aaron Rodgers ends up signing and all that stuff. So at this point, the most likely scenario for Rodgers is that he signs with the Steelers, but I'm not sure about that. He could also retire. So once again, Aaron Rodgers even holding the NFL schedule makers hostage a little bit because of not knowing where he's going to be.
It's amazing when you consider all this Aaron Rodgers noise because the last time he was good, Tommy went in there with the Buccaneers at 20 and murdered them. His career.
Yep.
So, and that's one of the finest moments of my life, by the way, that he went in there and beat them in that game.
I agree.
Because I really don't like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't either.
What he brings to the table. And it has nothing to do with the political stuff and the vaccines and all that. I don't like the way he behaves and the way he treats football like it's his hobby. And I don't want to see a guy like that rewarded.
Speaking of the Steelers, they're one of 7 teams that will be sent abroad to host an international game this year. And so London, be the Jaguars at Wembley, also in London, the Jets.
God knows the Jaguars that's their second home. The Jaguars play like every year.
Yep. Sometimes more than once. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the Jets. The Browns will be in London as well, also at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In Berlin, it'll be the Colts at Olympic Stadium.
The joke is, Pete, the joke is, Pete, that the NFL wants to leave the Jets and Browns over there. So particularly the Browns.
Like that. I mean, it's more fun to make fun of them in this country.
I agree.
Dublin. The Miami Dolphins, with or without Tyreek Hill, we'll get to that in a second, might be in Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu. And then in Sao Paulo, the Chargers at Corinthians Arena. Also, 3 other games when the home team are set in stone for the upcoming season. Week 1, September 4th, the Eagles will host the Thursday opener against somebody. And then on Thanksgiving, November 27th, the Lions and Cowboys will both host a home game for the millionth time. So Tyreek Hill, I'm sure you saw this story.
I was on Twitter when it was breaking.
Yep. And police were called to the home of the Miami Dolphins wide receiver and his wife for a domestic dispute on Monday, although no charges were filed. It was at Sunny Isles Beach Police Department reported.
They're coming for Tariq right now, Pete. You can hear them. They're coming for Tariq. There they are, the sirens.
He escaped to Ann Arbor. Officers responded to a call from Hill's mother-in-law who told them Hill was very aggressive and impulsive, quote unquote, and that she was afraid for her daughter. So according to Hill's mother-in-law, Hill and his wife, Katie Vaccaro, got into an argument and he threw her laptop to the floor before grabbing their 4-month-old daughter and heading to the balcony of the 35th floor apartment. Vaccaro told responding officers that she and Hill had been attempting couples therapy due to their frequent arguments, but that it obviously didn't work out, adding that she was in the process of filing for divorce. She said Monday arguments began when she told Hill he was not involved enough in their daughter's life. Hill and Vaccaro told officers their argument Monday was not physical, but officers noted a visible bruise on Vaccaro's chest. She told officers she probably sustained the bruise when Hill took their daughter at the beginning of their argument and described it as an accident. More to follow. We'll see.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong with the Dolphins this season, Pete? I mean, what a bleep show this guy is. There's almost one of these, like, you know, he's got so many women and kids. He's got more women and kids than he had catches and touchdowns last year. I mean, it's like he's a depreciating asset. And why would you put up with this? And it's not like they have a great quarterback to work with them. He's just okay. He's Samoan Hawaiian Jared Goff. He's not anything great. And I mean, this would be a good opportunity for them to trade him. But who's going to want to?
I mean, people might forget in 2023, Hill was investigated after assaulting an employee at the Hullover Marine Center in Miami. Both sides reached a settlement. Hill was not even disciplined by the NFL, which I can't believe.
He's kicked out Oklahoma State.
Yes, he's also a defendant in the civil lawsuit filed by influencer Sophie Hall, who alleged Hill broke her leg during a June 23rd visit to his home. Hall claimed Hill was frustrated by her holding her down during a football drills in Hill's backyard and caused a fracture with physical play. Unbelievable. And then last year, Hill was briefly detained by police. We all remember this after he was pulled over for speeding while en route to the Dolphins' opening game against Jacksonville. Hill and the responding officers engaged in a verbal altercation, led to officers dragging Hill away to the pavement.
Cleese Campbell had to go get him. Yep, I remember this.
Yep. Anyway, unbelievable. Absolutely.
You know what's amazing, Pete? I have somehow avoided being beaten and arrested by cops. I don't know how, but I know I'm a little white guy and I don't run a 4.240, but I don't smack women. I don't hold babies on ledges. There are these little few things in life that I do.
I respect that from AB. He did crazy stuff like that. He threw couches off ledges. Remember Antonio Brown and Fort Lauderdale?
He also remember
an 11-story building. He throws a couch off the thing. Luckily, and it landed right near a couple too. They luckily didn't get hurt. Idiots.
And he beat up some delivery drivers. He didn't pay people. It's very similar. Except Antonio Brown was still really good.
My favorite was when his wife was leaving with their young kids in a taxi cab, and he took out gummy bears shaped like penises in a bag and threw them at her. That's one of my favorites of all time. Real classy. Yeah, you're going to be a great dad. Just unbelievable.
I wish that we had the audio and video of when he quit on the Buccaneers in the middle of the Jets game and walked out.
Well, you can Google that.
Of me watching it.
Me too.
Because I was at my high school special teams coach, beloved CPR coach Peter Riley, in Andover, watching it with him in his office, and he was doing his work, and because he's got like a Pentagon set up, he's got the TV here, and he's got his work, and he turns over, and he looks, he sees Antonio Brown walking to the tunnel, and he's like, "Who is that?" And I just said, Antonio Brown, because it was both our season's over and this guy's the biggest idiot in the history of the world.
Yep.
And because remember, Chris Godwin had just got hurt. He's gone for the year towards ACL.
Yep.
And Mike Evans was beat up.
Yep.
And they were literally signing dudes off the street.
And they still made it to the championship. They still almost got there. That great comeback against the Rams, it felt just a tiny bit.
Do you know? Okay, so let's see if you know this. Do you know who screwed up on that big Cooper Kupp play at the end of the game? He just signed a big free agent contract with the team.
Refresh my memory. I'm sure.
Speaking of Antonio Brown, he did the fake vaccine card with him.
Oh, oh, yeah. Go ahead. I'm having a brink.
Mike Edwards.
Mike Edwards. Yeah, Mike Edwards. That's right.
And you know what? I might have texted or messaged somebody after Antonio Brown and Mike Edwards did the fake vaccine thing and said to them, the Bucs need to cut these two idiots today. They're going to cost us in a big spot. Ka-ching!
Jay, I got to take a break. It was great having you on again for the second time this weekend. We'll do it again next Tuesday. Please be careful going to these baseball games.
I got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm thinking about going with the boys to Toledo on Tuesday, where it's going to be 42 degrees.
Holy Toledo! Yeah.
I had another word, but that's a nice start.
All right, my friend.
You and Angel be good, buddy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. There it is. Jay Ferlandly from Beavs World up in Ann Arbor. All right. Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. So get on down there to Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. Trevor Harris up next from WQAM in Miami. You'll find out his take, and if he knows anything else about Tyreek Hill and the domestic disturbance at his home. And a lot more when the Pete Sheppard Show returns here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As
you want the best in sports and entertainment?
You got it. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
You know what that means. If the Hurricanes aren't running out of the tunnel, it's Trevor Harris rolling out of bed to join the program here on a Thursday morning, April 10th. A little later than normal, but that's okay. He needs his beauty sleep. Trevor Harris from the QAM in Miami. Welcome to the program. Are you going to have to provide bail for Tyreek Hill if he ends up in jail over the next 48 hours?
Tyreek, how much is bail? What? Don't have it. Put it through.
How dare you not show respect for Tyreek Hill? He has so much for you and everybody else, obviously.
I know. By the way, I was able to make breakfast this morning.
Oh.
So I made a nice breakfast burrito, which I never get to do that much. So I woke up early and did that because I was really craving.
What was in it? Besides eggs, was it sausage?
Scrambled eggs. I do ham, and I do pepper jack cheese.
Very nice. You got the tortillas?
I got the tortillas and everything here.
You toast them properly?
I put
it raw. Raw like an animal.
No, I put it on the stovetop, warmed that bad boy up.
And that's my boy.
Yes.
See, Chef Ram should be very proud.
Got to use that ceramic cookware I got from Bed Bath Beyond when I worked there and stuff. I got that as a gift anyway.
Really? Otherwise, you get this.
I have a big fucking problem. Yes, I do. Man, fuck me. This is wrong.
Anyway, so this story happened last night around 6:30, where it's what's disturbing about the whole thing, and I just went through it before. I'm not going to read the whole story again.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard, but what's disturbing to me is that the bruise that is on her chest, and she claims was an accident, and that's the kind of stuff that all the alarms go off, and it's like trying to cover up. It's a money thing again. The fact that the daughter's 4 months old, I guess she's fine. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
takes her out on the balcony. I mean, I don't. He's fucking crazy.
I thought Antonio Brown was crazy, but Tyreek Hill was right up there in the crazy department. I will say that for sure.
Close to AB, he's getting there.
Yeah,
I mean, AB threw a couch off the 11th story in Fort Lauderdale.
I remember that. It was in Hollywood. He went after his people in Hollywood too. Also, he called someone a cracker and stuff.
Yeah. Well, remember that? And then he got in a fight with a chef, didn't he? Speaking of chefs,
he did. So I look at it as like we are on that same path, and some people don't want to admit it. Like Tyreek Hill is you have to deal with Tyreek Hill. Like, no, you don't anymore. The Pittsburgh Steelers got rid of Antonio Brown. They traded his bleep to the Raiders. The Dolphins could do the same thing if they wanted to, but I don't think they will.
You go back to the incident, 2024, the last year opening day, and police pulled him over. Yada yada yada.
I did post game that day.
2023 investigated after assaulting an employee at the Marine Center in Miami.
I remember that one.
There's a whole bunch of other things too, and you got to wonder.
What do you cut bait?
Well, Stephen Ross, I don't know what goes through his head.
I don't think there's anything up there except maybe a monkey that's smashing like the tambourine thing, anyways. Because he only cares about winning the science fair, anyway. So that's what I always say.
Yeah, but So I'm wondering this will probably be. Did you work last night for the? Or the other night you had the Panthers Toronto.
I
game?
had the Panthers in the Maple Leaf game. I did that, and I
Yep.
did Hurricane Hotline as well. Which
how's that going? How was that going?
That is great. I love the Hurricanes. They're the best. We've all found out that Carson Beck will not be throwing during the spring game, by the way.
Well, I think we knew that was anticipated.
Yeah,
that
but
he was
he'll be there.
I'm not entirely sure he's going to be ready for opening day. But like
I don't think so either.
We got that kid, that freshman coming in from Georgia, not University of Georgia, but from the state of Georgia, I believe. He's awesome. And I keep telling. Has anybody brought up that big tight end? I told you. I think his last name is Johnson. He's 6'7", 270, whatever the hell he is.
Not yet, but we will start bringing his name up. We've always been concerned about the offensive line since DBJ knows his centers. He wants to know if we got a good or not. And Brockermeyer, we got a good one from Iowa. We have a football guy, I like to say.
You cannot. If they come from Iowa or Boston College and they're on offensive line, they're fucking great.
Absolutely. Or occasionally Wisconsin too, but I always say
right off the farm, baby.
I tell that to everybody, like you have that, or maybe a nice one from Oklahoma too. Who knows what he's
Iowa
doing.
State, not bad. Yeah, Oklahoma, Iowa State.
Yeah, I always say in some parts of the Bounce House Conference and the old Bounce House Conference, you can have a good offensive lineman. Anyways, I always tell that to people down here. It's like, oh, we need this flashy running back. It's like, no.
No, isn't me though? Have Miami Dolphins been noticeably quiet? I mean, nobody is talking about anything with them. Charlie Brown hasn't had any comments I can make fun of at all. I haven't been able to play my music in a long time because when Charlie Brown talks, this is what you get. The wild thing. And I haven't been able to do that, and it frustrates the hell out of me. So Miami, do something. I haven't heard anything from that organization at all. You hear stuff come out of Tampa, good stuff, Jacksonville, new regime over there. What the fuck is Miami doing?
They're
what are they doing?
They're on the hottest of hot seats. They're on the hottest of hot seats. No one wants to say the wrong thing. And everyone's on. I think everyone knows this is a make it or break it year. And I've kind of said that last year too. This is a make it or break it year. I don't care what anyone says. It's like I always see the third and fourth.
Oh, when you say make it or break it year as far as cleaning house with everybody?
Yeah, I think they really need to they really should clean house. Like
the dumbest thing they ever did was fire Brian Flores. That was the dumbest thing they ever did.
I said that too, and people said like
it talks about them too. I'm upset. Please, did you see what Vrabel said yesterday?
Yeah, I saw Vrabel. I believe I always agree. Like you got to have some hard coaching. Get these kids don't run. You don't want a country club. That's what the Miami Dolphins are. You've been a country club for 25 years, anyways. So, and this is what you deserve, anyways. Like what I always tell those people, like you wonder why no one really likes you guys. Because you guys run a country club the whole time. The Eagles have done more in 25 years than you guys have done anyways. I tell it to. So,
yeah, I know. I mean, when's the last time Miami won a playoff game?
2001 New Year's Eve weekend.
Yep. Did it be Buffalo?
Colts.
Oh, the Colts. That's right. Yeah.
Peyton Manning when he couldn't win the big game. Which I always miss those conversations, by the
way. Couldn't win the big game. Couldn't beat Brady. And then finally got it done because...
My favorite one was he got shut up by the Jets. That's still my favorite non-Eagle playoff game. When I love the Jets beating up on the Colts 41-0.
41-0, right? Was the final on that one? Yeah.
At the Meadowlands. I still my mother's a Jets fan. She says that's still my favorite playoff game. The Jets won
that day, too, didn't it? Didn't it snow pretty good at one point in that game, if I remember?
Yeah.
Shout out to about deer in the headlights. He was an absolute deer in the headlights.
Yes. Shout out to Chad Pennington and Santana Moss.
Yeah. So is this Tyreek Hill thing going to be a popular subject today?
I think it will be anyways. I've not turned on the QAM yet, so I will tune in probably after I get to know the spot because I want to know what Joe Rose is saying and Hollywood and everybody else is saying. I know some people will dance around it because they want to talk about why the Heat are going to be in the 10 spot for the play-in game, but I could care less about that. Ooh.
Well, I hope they make it so the Celtics can beat up on them some more in the 2-7 matchup. Maybe they get that.
You know how much I want that actually. I will find my Antoine Walker jersey from back in the day. I will do the shimmy with the
won a title with your guy. Won a title with the Heat back in the day.
I know, but I will do the shimmy like it's 2002 off the glass.
Oh, God, when Cedric Maxwell used to be on our show on the Big Show from time to time, the great. Radio color commentator and great former NBA Finals MVP in '81, and great. And every time he'd come in, he'd come in the studio because I would get so sick of. And I loved Antoine. And I had to cover that team, and he never shied away from from talking to the media or anything like that. But how many times to do that shimmy and dribble off his fucking foot? I can't even. I mean, so bad.
I still
Once in a
love.
while he'd make a great move, but a lot of times it's like doink.
I still have.
And there'd be nobody on him. Somebody's do it and nobody be on.
I still think of his buzzer beater off the glass, bank it in with Mike Gorman on the call when I was a young pup.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And my mom's like, no. Because my mom's like, that's my mother. Anyway, she's like, I let you guys stay up watch this game, Jesus. Shout out to
Yep. No, I was at that game. I remember. And I'll give him credit. He never shied away from the media, and he had to go through some really, really tough years. With
yeah. Rick Pitino days.
And then ML Carr afterwards, where they were tanking on purpose. And it was just
Jim O'Brien days. I always say, like, people are like, "Weren't you? What you thought it sounded like? Like, let's talk about the Jim O'Brien days, then we could talk." And people look at me like, "Oh shoot, you know basketball like I do." Honestly.
Another interesting NFL story today, and I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to fuck with Aaron Rodgers' head by bringing Shadur Sanders in today for a little meeting. Maybe it gets Rodgers off his high horse, and I'm still not entirely convinced that the Steelers really want him. I'm still not entirely convinced. I'm still not entirely convinced that he may not retire, at least for a year.
I really want the Steelers to sign him.
So do I.
And then they draft Shedeur Sanders. I want Hard Knocks in Pittsburgh this year. That's why.
Yeah.
I just want it for our entertainment, and I could laugh at the Steeler organization anyway. So I really would love that to have that happen, since the NFL says like we are forcing people on Hard Knocks, which I love, by the way. So.
Yeah, I haven't watched Hard Knocks really seriously the last couple of years. I think it's lost its luster.
Yeah,
I think it has. There's too many PC. It's stuff that I like the players mic'd up during practice and stuff like that. That's the best. That's the best part of it.
I think the Bears ruined it because they didn't allow swearing at all. So that was
ridiculous.
And I thought it lost its luster when they covered two teams, both LA teams, when they were opening up SoFi. I was like, I'm out on this season. I was like, I'm good, honestly.
Have you been watching all? Have you watched the Clubhouse on Netflix? A Year with the Red Sox from last year. Have you been watching?
I am about to start that today. By the way, that is on my long list of things, including do I want to go see Chris Tucker tonight or not?
Oh, where's he at?
Hard Rock Hollywood.
Oh, jeez. Get free tickets?
No, I have to pay for them myself anyway.
How much?
I think they're like $80. I saw.
Hey, $80. How much to park? 90.
Free parking, by the way. Free parking at the Hard Rock Hollywood.
Well, that's good. It was at the casino. But you'd be surprised. Even in Vegas, casinos are charging now.
I know. That's a shame. Casino should be. If you're spending money at the casino, you should get free parking no matter what.
It should be free parking and free booze, which they still do. But I mean, that's ridiculous how some of these casinos. I think Vegas has completely lost its luster. I'm so down on Vegas after the Super Bowl last year and how we were treated.
Yeah,
it just was like, there was no flair. There was no.
It was also is it like February, like the worst time to go to Vegas? It's like usually like this rainy season usually, or is it usually colder?
That's Luna.
I was trying to figure like I've had dogs barking from this place and that place the past 2 days when I've been doing my podcast. I was like, I literally screamed like, "Would you shut the heck up, please?"
She only barks when other dogs go. But we have the doors open, which is beautiful here again today. I'm sure it is over there where you really don't need the air conditioning. Although, how many windows you got in your house or where your apartment?
I have one big window. I will say I've had it open a couple times, anyways, and plus, this place has been clean. I'm trying to clean this place. It's like the military almost. Trying to get all the dust out of here because it's like I was sick all last week. Anyways.
Okay, that tells me that. I don't know, something cooking on the side. Whenever you start cleaning the apartment, you're a single guy, young single guy, can only mean one thing: either going to bring some chick over for dinner or start a relationship or whatever. I hope that's the case for you.
I hope one of them, anyways. But lately, it's been no dice, anyways. I've been caring about work too much, anyways. So,
well,
yes.
Yeah. Did you see? How about the Pete Alonso hit out the catch by Myers at the end of the game yesterday with the Marlins? Did you see how? Did he not bust his face open with the sunglasses going into his orbital fracture?
How does he not have
How does he not break his neck? How does he not have a concussion? How does he not anything happen? That is one of the sickest things I have seen in a long time. Full speed, face plant, with your sunglasses on, and the last play of the game.
That's crazy, honestly. I think both Marlins players, both center fielders for the Marlins have had great catches yesterday and the day before as well. So at least they're trying, and that is probably like the second greatest catch of the year for the Marlins because Conine robbed a home run on Saturday of opening weekend.
Remember his dad. Remember his dad. Now his son's playing. What has happened?
It's bad enough. It's like, and they just funny enough. They just inducted Jeff Conine into the Marlins Hall of Fame, by the way. So
and they had similar plays right a couple of weeks ago, right? Sports Center highlighted it. They both had some sort of same walk-off home run type of thing.
Yep.
It was crazy. Well, the Marlins aren't doing too bad.
Yeah.
All things considered, 6-6, 2.5 games back.
It's good to go to the ballpark and see if the roof is open. If the roof is open, it's worth going. If the roof's closed, we don't go.
Yeah. Have you been to any besides week 1 when you were in Georgia?
I went. That's the only game I've been to. I'm honestly trying to go to Tampa because I want to go to an outdoor baseball game. I'm such a snob now. I was like, just they open up the roof at the Marlins Park. Like, I just want to do outdoor baseball again. It's just a Northeast thing. I tell this to everyone.
Yep.
I like baseball outside. I like being like enjoying a nice cold one, being around people. You may see someone smoking a cigarette or just doing something else. Indoors cool, but it's like it ruins the flavor and the charm.
I hate indoor baseball, but then there's outdoor baseball. Then there's outdoor baseball. I mean, you saw on Sunday night it was sleeting, in Fenway, Detroit, Cleveland, horrible. How about the blizzard in Colorado for the Oakland game last week? I mean, we just had Jay Planley on. He went to the Michigan game, the Michigan Oakland game the other day, and sleet at 4:00 in the afternoon, sleet and hail, and they're playing in weather, and it feels like 15 degrees out. I mean, just
all the Texas people I've seen on my Twitter have been complaining about how we shouldn't be playing baseball games in April in Wrigley. It's like, welcome to baseball in Chicago. It's supposed to be cold anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the rain. I mean, the Rangers can close their stadium now, so
I've actually been in the Texas Rangers stadium. It's actually pretty nice. Actually, I'll say that.
You've been to it. You've been in it.
Yeah, very nice. It's probably the one nicer. It's almost, I like to say, out of all the new ballparks, that one's built perfectly.
But you know what? I had Sean McAdam on from MassLive.com, and he's an integral part of the new documentary on Netflix. He does a great job. We were talking about, I had him on opening day when the Red Sox were in Texas.
Yeah.
He said, it's got all the bells and whistles and all that stuff. He said, but when you walk in towards the stadium, he goes, you feel like you're going into a warehouse. You don't feel like baseball.
It kind of does feel like that.
He says it's like a warehouse feeling when you go in, and it's nice and everything. They have all the amenities.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel the same way.
I got that with Skydome. It feels like a gymnasium. That's what I felt like when I went to Skydome for the first time.
Unless you're having sex upstairs in the right center field, that was one of the great videos of all time. That was absolutely hysterical.
Was it all that I call it? That's still an all-time video, all-time internet day, anyways, an all-timer. I will say. Absolutely. And I feel that with most domes, is like you either have it or you don't have it. Like Marlins Park, like that's just a gymnasium.
Yeah, but the only problem, if you go to Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, the only problem with that, especially late May, if you start going in May and June, it rains. It rains down here. That we haven't. By the way, we need it because there's going to. And I don't know what it is over there. I mean, I know we haven't had a lot of rain at all.
Mm-hmm. We've had a rain a couple days ago.
We had a couple of a shower here, a shower there, but nothing sustainable. We need like a good soaking of 7 or 8 hours. But when you go to Steinbrenner Field in late May or June, it rains down here from Tampa down here to Fort Myers every day. Yeah. Every day. Sometimes for 10 minutes, sometimes for a couple of hours. But the one thing you do know, you are going to get thunder and massive lightning. That is the one thing you do know. So I don't know, since they played at the Trop, there weren't a lot of delays unless the power got knocked out. But how many delays are going to be at Steinbrenner Field coming up in May and June? It's really, really interesting if they're playing day games. Even night games.
I know they have Texas coming in June, which I'm trying to shoot for anyways, but I just want to go see that. I think that then they have the Battle of Florida right after. I think the Florida series could get rained out a few of those games. They should just move the Florida games, the Miami and the Marlins and Rays games. Just move it to South Florida to the Dome. We'll get them in.
Well, I'm worried about August 31st when the Hurricanes take on Notre Dame, and that's don't know. That's going to be a night game, I think.
That is a night game. It's a Sunday night game. They're
the only game in town that night. And then North Carolina. Did you see Belichick's mic'd up with North Carolina?
No, I haven't yet.
Angel, can we punch that up real quick before Meter comes on? The Belichick thing that we played earlier. Is that possible? This is great stuff. I love seeing it. They're going to be good. He is such a good coach.
It's good for the ACC. It's good.
It absolutely is. And people better take note. It's just even these North Carolina kids are fucking gargantuan. Phil's always in the best shape this time of year. Which is
I'm ready for him to do the classic whistle toss, like the whistle like twirl around these kids. I'm like ready for that. Those memes to come out. Then I'm like, all right, I'm buying in. And people don't like you work for the Canes. I'm like, I know. But
yep, you'll see some of that right here.
Mondo, we got to get the gloves on these guys. Just holding on every play, usually twice. Hey, good route. That's the right idea. It's close. Good job on the split safeties. Yeah. We hit them in no huddle. We hit them here. At least we're throwing the ball to the right place. Second down. We're live. Tackle in front. Tackle in front. This is live. It's live. Tackle in front. Stay off the quarterback.
Come off the edge and this will run. You don't want me to hit him from the side, do you?
No, just we know you got him. Get on the sideline. Tag off, stay up the quarterback, tag off on the runners. This is not live. But we're competing here. You got a lot of pressure anyway. Just clear him. That'll clear him. All right, here we go. First down. Hold on. Freddie, 4 seconds. 4 seconds. One play. We'll put it on the 9.
Situational football, baby.
I love this already.
Yeah.
Good call, Bobby. You're getting those. You're getting a lot of those. Like, damn near every call you make is a good call. I'm telling you.
He's actually nice to the referees. That's a first.
Seam. Then we hit.
Opposite of rotation, yep.
Then we hit a in cut, and then we hit a. That's how you move the ball down the field. You got to hit some of those plays. And look, there was still 30 seconds left on the clock. All right? Yes, sir. Nice job. Nice job. What was the next play we hit? An in cut. Then was the last play we hit? Go against there. That's how you move the ball. You got to hit some of those plays. It's a lot quieter over there on defense when we make a few plays. That's how we shut them up. Right? We shut them up by making some positive plays. That's it.
That is awesome, isn't it?
Someone clip me that one, so it was like, that's it with the twirl around.
You see how organized it is. You see how the quarterbacks are 3-4 plays ahead.
Yeah,
about moving the ball down the field. That was obviously I think that was a no huddle drill that they were practicing, but just absolute great stuff.
I know it's spring practice. I'm excited for some North Carolina football already. It's not even...
I am too. When's the Hurricanes spring game?
That Saturday on QAM at 3:00. Actually, I will not be working it, but they are down at Green.
I'm sure ACC Network's going to televise it too, right? I hope.
I think so. I'm
not
totally not sure.
If not, I can listen to Joe. I know, but I'm saying if not, I can listen to Joe on W3.
So Joe and DBJ are going to be on the sidelines for this.
Really?
Yes, they're going to be doing it from the sideline.
It's going to be at Hard Rock, and I think it's free, right?
It is free. It's down on UM's campus anyway. So
oh, that's right. It's on UM's campus. That's right.
Yeah. So get ready for that pure entertainment. I'm ready to see if we get any helps from Cristobal nearby anyway. So.
Awesome. All right, buddy. All the best. Thanks for taking a few minutes. We'll talk again next week. Are you going to work the spring game?
No, I'm working the Panther game Saturday night against the Buffalo Sabres. Someone's got to work those games.
They're red hot. They won 5 in a row, even though they're out of it. But anyway.
Yes.
All right, Trevor Harris.
Perfect April-May team anyways, the Buffalo Sabres anyway.
Tell you and your colleagues, get that bail money ready. Tyreek Hill, it needs it.
Call the bail.
Call your bail bondsman of Tyreek Hill. Oh my goodness! Thank God the young lady and his daughter are okay, because it's just anyway.
Thank God. Take care, guys.
All right, bud. We'll see you next Thursday. Thanks a lot. All right, Angel. Quick break, and then we'll get ready for our last guest of the day, John Meter-Perrell, BC play-by-play voice and ACC Network play-by-play voice as well. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
That I have, okay, that I would ask us to try to abide by. One is the respect the team, okay? Respect the football team and the people that are here, okay? The second one is, okay, I'd like you to have, when we're in a meeting, okay? I know what the style may be, just pull your hood down in a meeting. That's all I ask, okay? I just ask that when we're in a meeting, okay, that we just pull our hood down.
And everyone go out and take a lap and run till you puke. Gotta love it. Mike Vrabel laying down the law with this group of New England Patriots. Good morning. Welcome back. Final segment of the Pete Sheppard Show here on this beautiful day here already in Southwest Florida. It's already temperature going to climb into the low 80s today. Beautiful, hardly any humidity. Doors are still open. Fantastic. We welcome in John Meter-Perrell, who is in crappy weather up north. But nevertheless, Meter, how are you? Thanks for taking it for you. The voice, play-by-play voice of the Boston College Eagle football team. The play-by-play voice on the ACC network as well. You just saw him last week do a great job with BC, a pro day, hosting. And it was great stuff. Peter, how you doing?
What's up, Pete? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I just, I almost put my hoodie up, but then I thought I'd be in violation of the Patriot rules. So, and I do not want to look at my phone while I'm talking to you. Doesn't that seem like just basic stuff, though?
I said that earlier, Meter. Same thing. Great point. I said the same thing. I said, isn't what he said just common sense stuff? Like just act like a professional. But that's where we're at because these narcissistic players in pro sports now, and they're so sensitive. You can't say boo to them without them running to somebody to not all of them, but I mean, there's too many of them.
Yeah, I think it's just it's just good for Vrabel for allowing someone to record that, and people get maybe a little bit more enlightened. It's not like he broke news with any of those rules. You and I, if we had done that back in the day at WEEI, we would have been forced to run laps around the New Balance building. So, what I can't stand, I've said this a few times, I don't know about to you, but on my sports media podcast with Andrew Marchand, I can't stand announcers who during games look at their phones. They're calling the game, and they're looking at their social media. They're looking at their texts.
Mm-hmm.
Put the phone down.
How about the weight room comment that he made? Or it's I don't want you to look. I don't want you to do a set. So guys listen, 400 pounds, 3 sets of 15, and then stops after each set to go look at his cell phone. Are you serious? I mean, I know that goes on. That's just why. It's like people around here in Publix and everywhere. How about people when you go in the grocery store or walking from the parking lot to the grocery store? They are looking at their phones. Not paying attention, you almost get run over. They cause accidents. It's so ignorant. I can't stand it.
It is. It's just we're addicted to it. It's like it's another appendage, Pete. It's like
it absolutely is. All right, I wanted to ask you. I was thinking of you and your dad, who has since passed. And what was his first name? I'm sorry.
My dad's Steve.
Steve, just an unbelievable. The ambassador at Fenway Park, one of the kindest and nicest people ever. We'll get into. So when I was watching the Clubhouse a year with the Red Sox on Netflix, and I forget the gentleman, nice man who kind of was doing what your father was doing initially,
yes.
Showing people around, making sure they're welcome. But I wanted your thoughts over. I've seen the first 3 episodes. I haven't seen all of them. I've only seen the first 3. I'm assuming you've seen at least the first couple.
I have.
And what were your thoughts? And I can't even imagine your emotions watching it. I know your dad is smiling down on this. I think it's so well done. I think it was so well done so far.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, Pete. That's very nice of you. I did think about that. No question. I thought about how my dad definitely would have been in this. There's no question they would have focused on him because he was, he's the Red Sox have named him the greatest tour guide in Fenway Park history.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, God, that choked me up beyond belief when they handed me a commemorative seat with a plaque with my dad's name on it. And that was quite emotional for me. And, it was such a great job for him in retirement. He loved every second. He was there every day. He greeted the media at Gate D. He handed out credentials to everybody that, He loves seeing you. He loves seeing everybody. You would call me every day and say, "Guess who I saw today?"
Yep, he would say I'd walk in sometime when we weren't there, and and I'd walk in with I didn't overuse the privilege, but sometimes family, sometimes close friends, and he'd be there. He's like, "Who you sneaking up to the luxury box today?" I was like, "I'm not sneaking up anything, Mr. Perel. I'm taking, you know."
Yeah, he let you do it all.
Certificates. I mean, I had my team, but the other people didn't have to. He's like, yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I didn't see anything, but no, that's the type of guy he was. But as far as the documentary goes, it's been terrific. I don't, I didn't quite know what to expect because a last place team to me wasn't going to be that riveting. But they're focusing on the personalities. Jaron Duran's situation has obviously made news. Casas is just one hand I hate him, the other hand I kind of like him. It's kind of I'm kind of torn on that. I know he's bizarre. I think he knows clearly how to use the media to his advantage. But good for them for at least making something out of nothing.
No question. And the Jaron Duran stuff, I didn't know anything about that at all. I don't think I had Sean McAdam on yesterday, who was an integral part of this. He's done a great job, as has Ian Brown and Alex Spear as well. But Sean is like the focal part. And, Chris Catile, he was telling me on Mass Live, had wrote something last year about a little bit about his mental health status. But for some reason, it didn't get the attention. Obviously, this is a huge thing. Everybody's talking about it. And when that happened and Tom Cameron brought up the Samaritans and how many people responded, it was right out of the gate was amazing. And I was just wondering, God, why is this coming to the front and center now when maybe we could have saved some more life? But Jaron didn't want this to come out the way it did until he was ready, which I totally respect that. But I'm blown away by the entire situation. And then I saw his father, who is tattooed from neck to nuts, it seems. His parents were pretty hard on him all the way. I mean, there's helicopter parenting, then but they seem to be a tad over the top. Did they not to you?
Yeah, I haven't seen them yet. I'm behind you in that regard. I'm going to watch the fourth one today momentarily. But I have heard that. I think it's just a product of these guys are 24, 25 years old. They grew up in a different generation than you and I. Our parents were involved. My dad coached all my teams, but it was different. It was less helicoptering, more just go out and play and enjoy the game. You know that. I mean, it's just a weird mentality. I tried not to be that way. My kids weren't great players, and they played when they wanted to play. And if they wanted to play, I encouraged them. If they didn't, I encouraged them. So I was very conscious of that, to not be a helicopter parent. I don't quite get it, but I guess when you think your son or daughter has that type of ability like Duran had and has, you probably want to push them the best you can so they can maximize it.
Yeah, and look, helicopter parenting has been going on every generation, going back through time. It's just some is more severe than others. I coached a little league team one year, and I had one mom come up to me, not yell at me, but wondered why I had the kids take a lap before practice and before every game. A lap around the little league field, which is nothing.
Nothing.
And I went, just to loosen them up. Now, there were other coaches there that did full calisthenics for 10 minutes, sometimes. I just said, stretch, especially if you're pitching and catching, stretch, and, then once around the field. No big deal. This mother thought I was like, I told him to go run the Boston Marathon,
that's not. There are levels of that.
I felt like saying, first of all, the kid's mom, because the kid was a little chunky, I'm like, I wanted to say you should run 5 laps, but I didn't.
Go have a yoo-hoo. Yeah.
But anyway, but the documentary itself, I think, is really, really, it's very, very, very well done.
Oh, it's
so you'll enjoy it as it goes on. So I love what Mike Vrabel said yesterday. I see some of the responses, some of the idiots on Twitter. It's like, you can't talk to Stop it. This team needed that kind of a jolt, that kind of a kick in the ass, and there's more where that came from. I can't wait. It's definitely going to help.
Yeah, of course it is. Everything seems to be pointed up. Who knows what they're going to do in the draft? Everybody has a theory of, he's a Vrabel type of player. He's this type of player. He's that type of player. This just in, they need a left tackle.
Yeah.
If they feel like Will Campbell's the guy, then you draft Will Campbell. And then I love what Mel Kiper's draft, his latest 4.0 mock draft. He's got Will Campbell and he's got Luther Burden at 38 going to New England. Burden would be fantastic.
Did you hear the back and forth with him and Field Yates the other day, by chance?
I saw some, but I didn't hear about the Patriots.
Mel Kiper was turned into the get off my lawn old guy. And let me tell you something, man. Field Yates is as bright as it gets. And his hair's looking even better than ever. And, he made some really, really valid points. And Mel Kiper got mad because he said, well, now I only have 30 seconds to talk. And he goes, you're showing, when anybody like that says you're showing your age. I mean, Field has been in the front office, behind the scenes with the Broncos, right? Before he became at ESPN. He's a young guy. He's very bright. And Mel Kiper's bright too, I get it. But Mel Kiper came off like a total dickhead talking to him the other day. It was ridiculous. And Field let him have it. It was fantastic.
Well, I think ESPN loves that because he used to do that with Todd McShay. I think Mel gets territorial.
Yeah, totally.
Totally territorial. He's been doing it for 40 years. And he's been, he's the godfather of this. So he probably feels like, I don't want this kid in.
But he's not right most of the time. He's not right. Anybody can get the first cut. Assuming there's no trades. You do your mock draft. I'll do my mock draft the day before. We used to do this all the time when I was at all the stations. We do just as well as he did, picking the first round. If not better.
I'll give those guys credit. Kiper, McShay, Jeremiah, Field Yates. I think, they all do their homework. They all talk to agents. They all talk to scouts. It's not an exact science, of course. They're throwing darts a lot of times. But you're right. It's definitely the percentages probably aren't great, especially the last couple of years. And this draft's going to be that type of draft. It could be, topsy-turvy. I was reading the New York Post today, had their Jets and Giants mock draft. All these guys make trades. They're all making trades they're in the front office. Like Phil Perry did that on NBC Sports Boston.
The
Patriots trade. So, and I like Phil, but good for him. He's trying to be creative. No one knows.
No, you don't know. I think that Shadur Sanders. It's interesting to me that Shadur Sanders. I think this is sort of out of the blue, isn't it? Going to visit the Pittsburgh Steelers today. So I'm wondering if the Steelers. This is not going. They're doing this on purpose. Give Aaron Rodgers, if he's serious, a wake-up call. I still don't know how serious the Steelers are actually wanting Aaron Rodgers. And I'm still not convinced that Aaron Rodgers won't retire at least for a year. So I think it's really interesting. And then Shadur Sanders, another mock draft had him going to Cleveland. Are the Giants going to take? This between Rodgers and Shadur Sanders. That to me seems like the big drama.
It is, and I think Sanders is so divisive at this point. He's the polarizing figure in the draft. Some people think like Kiper thinks he's a definite top 5 guy. Others think he's not even a first round pick. So quarterbacks, your guy Cam Ward looks like a lock for Tennessee.
Yep.
We'll see on that front.
Sanders could fall to 9 in some mock drafts to the New Orleans Saints. Look, I said it before. Like Cam Ward is the Celtics, and Shadur Sanders is the Yankees. Is the Knicks. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know where these people are coming.
Who's hitting the 3? Porzingis? 8 threes the other night.
Oh my God, they're just so. And I knew they were going to rest everybody last night. Now resting the top 7, they're probably going to get fined a little bit for doing that last night. But there's no question they're going to end with Charlotte twice.
Charlotte Sunday.
But Friday they'll play a couple of guys Friday, and then they'll be the same thing on Sunday to end the season like it was last night. Who cares?
Yeah, no.
Get the
they're hitting their stride at the right time.
Yep.
I still think there's going to be a challenge from Cleveland.
Oh, I agree. It's definitely, but that's not going to be.
And Orlando might be dicey too. I think they'll win They'll win that series if they end up playing Orlando, but it's not going to be as easy as people think.
The one thing I'm entirely convinced is that the Lakers are going to get bounced in the first round. I don't care if it's Denver. I don't care if it's the Clippers. I don't care if it's Golden State. It's just I had them going to the second round. Now I've decided no. There's too much stuff that goes on with Luka when shots aren't going down. They don't play any defense down the stretch. in a lot of these games, and I think it's a difficult matchup for them. No matter if the Lakers, Denver, or Golden State happen to play them in the first round. Bye-bye, Lakers. I know Shannon Sharp loves to say, Chris Canty, the Lakers in 5. No. Whatever team they're playing wins in 6 or 7. That's my opinion. But
well, Pete, where's your green jacket? I thought you'd be wearing the Milton's green jacket today.
Well, hang on a second, Meter. Hold on. I'm glad you brought that up because I've been doing this a couple times today.
Oh, yes.
Time for the Pete Sheppard Masters Update. And let's go to the leaderboard, shall we? Zach Johnson is 2 under right now.
Oh, that's not going to last.
Kirk is 2 under. And Vegas, Weir, and Kim are 1 under.
No one. Yeah.
What time does Scheffler tee off? I forgot.
Until probably 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that.
That means tomorrow morning. So I have Scheffler on the Hard Rock app down here, $5 to win 29.
How about Ludwig Oberg, $10 to win 190?
Oh my God! What's and Keegan Bradley is from Vermont, New England golfer. He's kind of an underdog as well. But
he is. Yeah, there's so many guys they're just spooked by the place though. So and McIlroy's one of them.
It's intimidating.
Oh, absolutely. I've
never been there. I've never been.
I don't blame them.
Have you been there?
I have not. I've just driven by it. I've not been able to. You and I will get an invitation soon to play.
You drove by it. Now, this I know from people that have gone there and actually played in it. That is not the best of neighborhoods in the world.
Correct.
Am I wrong?
Augusta looks like, outside the gates, looks like Route 1 in Saugus or Route 9 in Framingham. In your world.
Congested. Route 41 or 75.
Car dealers. You get your steak and shakes. You got your Waffle Houses. You got your Shoney's. It's not probably an area, a little Myrtle Beach-esque.
Yeah. Well, I mind Myrtle Beach. I love Myrtle Beach. Great. I still, to this day, my favorite, I think, outdoor bar ever is Ocean Annie's. Anybody from like 21 to 71 was there, and it was God. I went for my 40th birthday. It was a blast. Absolutely.
How come I wasn't invited?
I was 40. It was 18 years ago.
See, we knew each other 18 years ago.
My ex-wife had to come. I wish you were. I would have taken you. I went with another couple, some dear friends of mine, and my ex-wife. And
Angel Martinez and I will be invited to your 70th.
That's in 12
We'll
years.
We'll go to Ocean Annie's.
I loved it.
Exactly, Angel. Angel, what's the best bar in St. Pete?
Or Tampa Joe's, which is a big bar that we both have been to.
If it's a sports bar atmosphere, it's, other than obviously the Rays not playing at the Trop, God almighty, what is the name of the place? It's right around the corner.
Place around the corner from the Trop? I've heard about that. I forget the name as well, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a good spot because you have the indoor-outdoor bar, which is almost both in the same, where you have an upstairs. If you go inside, the outside bar is definitely great. Doesn't matter if it's cold or hot outside. You get tons of folks that go out there, especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights.
Oh, now
it's
we're talking.
really good. Yeah, but it's a great time. And then you have your upscale, hoity-toity bars as well. But I don't frequent those. I like my kind of folks bars. That's what I like.
Well, boys, I'm going to Fenway today. 4:10 start.
Oh God, is it going to snow?
Red Sox, Blue Jays, 52 degrees and sunny, Pete.
Nice. That's good.
Your friend Jamie Parker will be there.
Oh, great. Say hi to Jamie. That's great.
I will say
awesome. That's fantastic.
And our friend Rob, who you know as well. We're sitting right behind home plate.
Oh, what, in the Drinkwater seats?
4 rows behind him. You'll be able to see us on TV on MLB Network.
Bring a sign.
We will wait. We'll say, hello, Pedro.
It's Ferg's. Ferg's Sports Bar.
Ferg's.
Yep.
I've heard about Fergs.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
guys been to
awesome.
a game at Steinbrenner Field yet?
I have no, I have not, and I don't plan to. I was telling a couple of guys this earlier, a previous guest before you, Trevor Harris, because they're used to playing all their games inside, obviously at the Trop, but it rains down here from Tampa down to Fort Myers in June almost every day, and lightning along with it almost every day. Now, sometimes it lasts 5 minutes, sometimes it lasts a couple hours, but you watch how the Rays players, if there's multiple rain delays, if they have a nice homestand in late May, June, early July, watch the amount of rain delays that happen. They won't be used to it.
Oh, it's going to be everything I've heard. It's going to be brutal. That's why they front loaded the schedule, or they tried to at least. Every ball's flying out of there to the right field side. What is it, like 308 down the line?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
a Yankee Stadium.
You and I can get one out of there, Pete.
Top flight Yankee Stadium, right field goes out.
Yeah, it's crazy. By the way, Pete, you know Ben Rice is from Glenn Ordway's backyard, Situate, Mass.
Oh, okay.
The Yankee, the Dartmouth product, Ben Rice, your DH for the Yankees.
Nice.
So he grew up in the shadows of Glenn Ordway.
Well, Glenn was in Cohasset.
Right.
Right next to
I think actually Rice might be
next
from
door.
Cohasset, actually.
Right next to. So it's Ben Stiller. We used to see Ben Stiller ride his bike down when we were doing the show. Remember when we were doing the show at Glenn's house up in the?
I remember the attic. He had a dog that used to abuse us.
Initially biting us.
We had to get our rabies shot before going to Ordway's house.
I had Glenn on yesterday with Sean McAdam at the end. It was great. It was like a little big show room. We got to do that. I'm thinking we got to do. Angel, how many people can we get up here at one time?
12.
12.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a party.
What about me, you, Jerry, maybe even Dino if he's around, Glenn, and Sean McAdam, and do like a little big show, massive
reunion show
for like an hour? How awesome would that be?
Ooh, wow. I don't know about you. Callahan, is working from your hours, doing his podcast.
He only does like an hour, right?
I think he does
3 hours.
He does 2 hours, I think, 9 to 11 on Newsmax.
All right,
they're balanced coverage. There's balanced coverage on Newsmax. you get both sides of the coin.
Speaking of lightning bolts.
Oh my God! I just saw Jerry. We went out to lunch. It was great.
Oh, really? That's right. I was doing everything good with his family and everything.
Good. But yeah, we caught up. It was nice. His daughter got married. The first thing he said to me, "He's a liberal, mate. He's a liberal." But legit.
I remember the time. One of the times I was telling you that talking to your dad, the late great Steve Meter Perel, as took me and two friends, and it was a cold, raw May afternoon, a game on a Saturday.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, so we go up and get to the luxury box, and who's there? But Jerry, his wife, and all the kids having a birthday party.
Talking about freeloading.
Well, yeah, but they were obviously there was. I mean, I actually paid for some booze and stuff, whatever, because I wouldn't, So
that box was great, man. God, we all abused that box to its finest.
Not really. I really didn't. I mean, I could have, and I didn't, especially when I was living in the city. But I mean, I would rather. A lot of times, they used to, ask us as they did, come to the box, say hi to clients and everything else. But then
I used to go gladly.
But then you got to deal with, especially during the playoff games.
Oh, yeah.
It was like brutal. Some of them were brutal. Like, Pete, what do you think? And I understand it's part of the game. I get it. But I want to watch the game. Glenn and I said, I want to watch the game. You can call a show. We can discuss it afterwards, but I want to watch the game. But
is John Dennis really twisted? What's that like working with him?
But yeah, so let's try and do that.
Hey, sign me up, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely
do the Brady Bunch box.
Oh, I know.
It's fun when it happens. When you get everybody up there, it really becomes like a party, because if someone comes out with one good liner and everybody chimes in, it's the best thing ever. So I'll make it a fun show.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be hard because we all love to talk, so it's going to be really, really difficult.
You gotta have to distribute the ball, Pete.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be a good moderator. I learned from Glenn. I think I did a good job learning from Glenn. Taught me a lot of good things. But yeah, Glenn's on a couple times a month. He's great. Sean has been terrific. So and you're always great, Meter. But I will let you go because you need to leave now if you're going to pay. How much to park at Fenway?
Oh, I saw that the opening day. It was $60.
Oh my God! Where'd you park?
Insane.
I parked in the street. I always park in the street because I have my very special places that I cannot disclose publicly.
I think I know where there's like but you still had to pay. Oh, you found a free spot. There's some free spots. There's 3 or 4 free spots in Boston. 2 that I know of by Fenway. One used to be where we used to work on Huntington Avenue. There were a couple of spots there that you could get away with.
Or you just pay the meter and, whatever. You put in $5 and hope for the best. But
but that meter, please, the meter people in Boston come and get you after 30 seconds if you're over.
I have to plan it. You're right. You do have to plan. I'm trying to think what time I'm going to leave for a 4:10 game. Going to meet 3:45. Probably I'll leave here at like 2.
Yeah. You have to.
You have to. Just to find it's people don't understand. It's a day, man.
So the parking is at least $60, which is ridiculous.
Oh,
yeah, I know it's more.
I'm not paying that.
No, it's more than the tickets. Well, so you got some freebie tickets. So how'd you get these tickets?
My buddy Rob, who was the voice of Northeastern hockey, long time. You know him.
Yeah.
Rob Rudnick.
Okay. Tell Rob I said, great.
I will, yeah.
Speaking of that, I'm sure
50 years season ticket holder. 50.
Okay, now explain to me this real quick before we let you go. I'm watching the game. I think it was last night. And everybody's all bundled up. It was the last night or the night before when it was fucking snowing and sleeting and whatever it was. And Dennis Drinkwater, who we love, is behind home plate. I saw him go to the cell phone. You're not allowed to. And Dennis is right behind home plate at Fenway every single game for many years. You are not allowed. One thing he's always said, if you're gracious enough to sit with him, if he gives you, you don't use your cell phone. You don't pull it out. I saw him on his cell phone.
He probably had it by that point. I mean, he's probably freezing. That is unique. He usually goes to the club, and you and I have been to a game with him, and they'll go to the Royal Rooters Club in the 7th inning.
Come in our box, so we were lucky. Our luxury box was above third base. It was really, especially for hockey games.
Those are great seats.
Unbelievable. We were very lucky. So I saw that. So you're sitting about 3 rows in back of Dennis. I'll be watching.
To the right of Dennis.
I have not missed one pitch this year yet, and don't plan on today.
Look at you, Pete.
Yeah, no, I'm into this team. It's been disappointing in the last 3 games,
awful,
especially the last 2 nights. I know it's cold,
sloppy.
Yeah, sloppy. Well, last night was just one of those, leaving runners on base again. Both
they've had a terrible run there. They've left. Opening day was like that. They won opening day, but I want to see something out of Walker Buehler today. He's been terrible.
Yeah, he has been. He has
an 8+ ERA. He's going against Chris Bassett. I saw Buehler opening day. Opening day felt like Fort Myers. It was a gorgeous day.
I know, and then it all went to shit. But at least it didn't snow like it did in Colorado. You ever do a baseball game, call a baseball game in the snow?
Luckily not. Football, yes.
What about? Now I was watching for some reason, so I flip on today. In between commercials, I go to ACC Network, and there is, or SEC Network, and there's, or it might have been ACC Network. Louisville playing Kentucky. I know Louisville got to Boston College pretty good. But they sweep a series, 3-game series.
Yeah, Louisville's good. Top 10 team.
There are a lot of people there in Louisville.
It's the thing, and you know this, but you go to those type of towns, and it's an event. It's what they do. Not much going on.
Yeah.
Why not? It's good baseball. The guy, Dan McDonald's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
Very respected.
Yeah.
Sent a lot of guys to the major leagues, and it's entertaining baseball. Well, why wouldn't you go? I'll tell you what. People, BC, Todd Ingenato, the guy they hired from Wofford to replace Mike Gambino, our friend who's now at Penn State.
Yep.
He's done a really nice job. He was on the Bill O'Brien podcast last week, episode 36. Episode 37's out now. We're going to have Gene Levanchi on next week, your friend Gene Levanchi.
Where's he? Is he still at Channel? He's not still at Channel 7.
Fox 25.
Oh, Fox 25. How long has he been there?
He's been
a while,
right? Years. Yeah, he's a morning show host.
He does the morning show host. That's right. Yeah. Have you ever noticed? See, all the great sports anchors a lot of them become news anchors because it's more money, or you host shows like what Gina's hosting now. It's never the opposite. The news guys never go to sports because they can't do it. But a lot of the sports guys, because they have much more better personalities than a lot of the news people,
I did it.
Right down, and they relate to
I was a
people.
news anchor in Providence during the pandemic. Remember that? ABC 6.
That's right.
ABC 6. I got hired by ABC 6 to shift over to news, and I was like, yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will.
When sports shut down, I was like, why not? And Gene's had a good career, so I'm excited to talk to him.
Yeah, Gene's great. Gene started in Rhode Island.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
All the legends start in Rhode Island, Pete.
Yep, usually.
You should have Patrick Little on your show. Patrick Little's great.
Yeah,
KL12 anchor.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Oh,
I don't know him, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
No, he's a good guy to talk to about all things New England, including clam bakes. He loved the clam bakes.
Thinking about that tonight. I think about maybe linguine and clam sauce tonight, as a matter of fact.
Ooh, where do you get that in Fort Myers?
I make it.
All right.
I'm talking about me making it, if I feel like making the pasta from scratch, which usually I don't for linguine and clam sauce because the store-bought pasta holds the sauce better than store-bought. I mean, than the homemade. Sometimes homemade pasta is not the best thing.
Jen Royal's on line 1. She wants your recipe.
I want a couple of her recipes. Jesus, she's amazing. I don't know how she does it. And the gelato she puts, just putting that gelato across the street out every day. I don't know how she does it in the North End. I mean, crazy.
She's a machine right now. She's got her empire.
She's killing it.
She is killing it.
Absolutely killing it.
She'll be on the Phantom Gourmet before you know it again. She's been on.
Well, she's been on. Like I said, she's been on. I've had her on this show before, and she's been. I mean, she's been on 4 or 5 shows. She's like, I've lost every time. When people want, she's been to the finals in some of these, but just comes up always a tad short for whatever reason. But
the late Anthony Bourdain. Did you see that Anthony Bourdain doc?
Of course, on the Taste, absolutely. And she was Chef Ludo, who's a great chef. He's hard ass too, but a great chef. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain loved her. He told Ludo, you got to keep her.
Oh, I know. That Anthony Bourdain documentary was heartbreaking.
So beyond heartbreaking, it's crazy. All right, Meter, start to leave now and tell Jamie and everybody else.
I'll tell the sausage guy you send your best.
Is he still there? I mean, it's not just
Angel. The sausage guy. Yes, he's in stores now. He's in Shaw's and Stop and Shop. He's got his product.
Made that guy. We made him.
I know you did.
He is. Started off on a little hot dog stand. Now he's got a fucking empire. It's unbelievable. Where's my cut?
Making sausage.
Meter, enjoy the game. I'll be watching. I will be watching. Give me some sort of a signal though that I don't know that you know I'm watching.
I'll do the Carol Burnett if I pull my ear. That's a hello, Pete.
Make sure it's above the waist whenever you tug, okay? All right,
yes,
bud.
Well done.
Have fun.
All right, boys.
All right. Have one.
Enjoy your sausage today.
I shall. Enjoy your 2 beers. I know if you have more than that, you
even.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks to John Meter Burrell, Trevor Harris, and Jay Flannelly. What's your name? Angel, anything else coming up today?
That's the way you end the show. Today is Thursday? Yes. Goodness gracious, ain't that right? With Dummy Dad, he'll be on again today, so you'll see him at 1:00, and then the replay of the show will be on later on the website.
I'm going to shower, shave, and go get a haircut. How about that?
Yeah.
It's my day.
That's a good combo.
I'm going to get ready to watch Meter, in the front, near the front row anyway, at Brentwood today. All right, Angel, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I will give you the guest list a little bit later on today. Everybody have a great and safe rest of your hump day Wednesday. I am Pete. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.